Let's see. Last stream, we were working on Experiencer. Pop, pop, pop. There's a few things I could do today. I'm thinking I could work on doing stuff on Level Up. I could also look into some of the enemy behavior stuff a little bit. Hi, Donut. Thanks for the 83 months. I'll be gone for like half a week or something, by the way. I'll be back like Tuesday or Wednesday. Hi, Minus. I was just thinking about what I want to do today. We have a good few hours. There's a lot of stuff in my to-do list, by the way. I'm just trying to work out what could be fun. I was saying that we were working on experience and stuff. So, I mean, it's a little laggy in debug mode, mind you. I also double-checked with my colleagues. They suggested that if I wanted a cert in rel with debinfo, I should just write a macro for a cert that just does what I want it to do. You know, it could be abort with a message and a breakpoint or something. So I might do that, and then we'd get the benefits of rel with debinfo. I don't know how many certs I've got. I mean, it's not so many that I can't just macro over it. It won't work for entities asserts. No, but it'll work for my own. I don't know how often I hit entities asserts. So for just general usage, if it randomly crashes, then yeah, that's a problem. But working with this frame rate is a massive pain in the ass. All right. Well, I haven't encountered them yet. Did you end up listening to the Strike songs? No, I didn't. Is the album out, or is it like in progress? I have a couple times. Have I? I guess. Wait, let me remember. Like asserts where there were things not in context or something, or I don't know. I might just make my own decision. Especially if I end up working with like the particles and stuff for like a couple of days. It's really bad. It's really hard to work with. And sometimes you have to compromise on. Like when we were trying to fix bullet spawning. I don't remember there being an assert going on. Oh, actually... what was it? I don't exactly remember it. The album's not out yet. It's like partially out, right? Or something. Anyway, that's not the concern for today. I've had a very long work day. Add optimization to the debug build. Yeah, not today. I'm shattered, honestly. I've had a really tiring week, so I'm gonna do something creative instead. Let's think. Oh, maybe I could work on screen shake. That could be fun. I don't know if it's in my 2D in my to-dos necessarily, but like it's like a pretty basic part of like Juice is to make the screen shake a bit when something happens. Obviously you can turn it off. I always turn it off, I'll be honest, but I'm wondering how I'd do that, because right now a lot of stuff is based on that target, so I guess maybe I just have a screen offset that I adjust the target with and interpolate, and then I draw everything at that position or something. I'll have a look. Hey Bowser. I've streamed a couple times this week, right? I've just been really busy. Let me think. We have our system manager, right? Can you hear the music okay? It's very nice piano, but it's kind of blocking my thoughts somehow. Unacceptable. Okay. Sorry. Give me 20. No. Hello, Duck. I'll just leave the music on for now. I'm sure we'll change. So we've got update camera, local player entity, interpolated camera position. This is normally what we do. I'm thinking if we have screen shake, we can simply adjust this interpolated target position. let's say, for example, I were to say const auto offset equals vec2 0, 100, 500 or whatever, and then I do this plus offset. I'm imagining this goes off the bottom of the screen, top of the screen. It goes up. So yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you'd imagine, right? Maybe if I make it a smaller number, we'd actually see something like this. Thanks, Bowser. How have you guys been? I still haven't finished putting all the paintings up. Yeah. So this is working pretty much exactly as I'd hoped. It's actually a little easier than I thought. So let's say I don't necessarily know how I'm going to handle the actual screen shake mechanic. My thought right now is you'd there'll be like some console command to set it, and then a console command to update the burn down rate. So you can say you have your normal positions on screen, and if you want screen shake to happen, you'd have a timer that's like constantly going down to 0. Like eventually, like with a cutoff, maybe like it just jumps like straight like that. This would be like the amount of screen shake you want, some timer that you'd pass in, and it goes down over time. And then if you want to have more screen shake later, you just call the same command and it just jumps the thing back up and resets the timer. You want a higher one, fine. You want a lower one, I don't know if that would be additive, because some games do make the screen shake stuff additive, or if I'd just ignore it because it's less. We'll have to think about it. I might make it additive, but make the timer not. Or I could store like a list of screen shakes going on at once. I don't know. There's a lot we can do. Went to the dentist today. How did it go? What are you doing? Just a yearly catch-up? To buy milk. You love my live to watch fully, but you can't because it's already midnight in India and you got to do other works. Oh, sorry, buddy. Hope you have a nice evening, though. What's the weather, if you're still here, what's the weather like right now in India? Is it really hot or is it winter? I know it's winter in Australia. Got a filling put in. It's all those sweeties, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to handle Systems Manager. I just feel like a weird place to put. Maybe I would have it in... We have our camera offset. Maybe I would even just have it in here. I mean, this isn't being used in a ton of places. It's mostly just being used in the Systems Manager itself. So how about this? We have our interpolated positions and stuff in the camera offset. Then we can have screen shake intensity. And we can have time float, screen shake, burn down timer. I don't know if this wants to be a timer or what. But I'm guessing that we interpolate somehow between this, and 0. So we'll want 0. Do I want the screen shake to have a positional aspect or just to be a random noise? That I don't know. Because obviously you can say if you shoot a wall, you want the screen shake to go in a particular direction. But then again, I feel like games normally just make it a sort of random shake. Which we can do quite easily by just randomizing the angle every now and then. Too hot, but today you got an hour of rain. Oh, nice. It's been pouring down in Europe, I think. Too much Pepsi. Do you drink a lot of sugary things, Bowser? So let's see. Screen shake intensity, burn down timer, and then we'll have a const expr inline screen shake intensity per second. I don't actually know exactly. Careful accidentally making it frame rate dependent. Yeah, well, I'm gonna burn down in the timer. I'm gonna think about it. I was thinking... What am I thinking? Yeah, it does that. Let me write something for a moment, because I basically want to do it in here, right? So let's just say we've got our camera offset pop down there, right? So if Camera offset dot screen shake burn down timer dot. Don't just say if it's larger than 0. Larger than 0. Vec2 angle equals. I'll come up with something. Let's just say 0, 1. This will be randomized, perhaps. We'll come up with a random angle. We'll multiply that by vec2 velocity equals shake intensity multiplied by angle. And then, oh, actually, no, I think we can do dot countdown. I don't know if it needs to be within an if. True if it's reached below or equal to the target time, false otherwise. So, I guess false. We'll pass in frame info.delta time. We'll somehow want to multiply. Is this correct? So it returns. It checks if it's reached the value. So if it's not reached the value, then it's false, right? That's how that should work. True if it's reached below, otherwise false. So we don't want to calculate this stuff, otherwise this should be random. And this will be camera offset screen shake intensity. And then we will say interpolate part position. You can become just regular vec2. And we'll just say interpolated part position plus equals velocity. And we will want to modify this. So we'll come up with a formula to calculate between intensity. Well, obviously right now this is going to be frame rate dependent, right? So this countdown is going to randomize a new angle at the wrong amount of time. So I could have a secondary, I was thinking about this, I could have a secondary counter, which is called like randomize angle. Randomize screen, randomize, screen shake randomize angle timer. So I can have that in here. Dot, hang on. Const auto times 2, 3, angle change times equals screen shake. Oh, sorry. Camera offset dot screen shake burn. What did I call it? Did I not save this? Oh, here we go. Dot countdown loop. We'll pass in delta time, and the interval will just be something small. Randomize angle timer equals, oh sorry, time float equals time float duration, and we'll just say every, I don't know, some amount of a second. This number I'll have to work out. Const expert inline, whatever. Oh, you don't want this because you're in a struct, aren't you? Do you want to make it static? Yeah. That's fine. I'd come up with something better in a moment. This will probably be in a CVAR or something. It'd be nice to modify that, probably. You had some nice veggie sushi for lunch. Nice. So this will be randomize angle timer frequency. I don't know if frequency is necessarily the right word. So this will be camera offset like that. Are you a sushi enjoyer? Just make it a const. I I don't. I go back and forth. Basically, there's like 2 kinds of vegetarian sushi, and half the time one of them isn't even vegetarian that I like. There's obviously there's tamago, like rolled egg, which is good, but they often put dashi in, so I usually don't get it because it's not vegetarian. So I only get it if the restaurant is clear on it. So that one's not very common. And then there's kitsune, which is pretty much the only sushi I can get, which is like the tofu skin, which is quite good, but when it's the only one you have, like I can taste it now, like I know exactly what it is. So I wouldn't pay out the nose for it. Sorry, bye, Doug. Other than that, I don't care for like cucumber. I don't want like mayonnaise. I think it's gross. So most sushi does not really work for me. That being said, I've gone to a couple of like vegan sushi places, which were like really good, but those are like one-off restaurants I probably wouldn't go back to because they're like special and stuff. That's not really... No, I wouldn't say I really like sushi that much, I guess. It's not a very veggie-friendly dish, considering it's usually raw fish. A lot of Japanese food isn't. It's funny that I keep going back. Let's see. Angle change times. Angle change... Number of times to change angle. Let's be fucking explicit about it, huh? Or size t I is equal to 0. As less than this, plus I. This might be stupid, but I think it's technically correct. Does it mean that it will be somewhere spooky crazy? Maybe. But it could mean that like if it was meant to be cancelled out, then it actually would. Now this screen shake intensity needs to be... You could check if number of times is larger than 0 because the in-between one is what you've seen. Maybe, but they would make a difference. This is slightly more deterministic, right? Technically, if I were to store this as a demo file for whatever reason, it's slightly more deterministic. I'm only thinking this because while my game may not work this way, I remember in Nuclear Throne the melting's right click that blew up corpses would only do it if they were on screen. So for that character, you turn screen shake on max so you can hit more characters or more enemies. And that could be non-deterministic. If you had a demo of the game, it might not blow up the corpse again. If in tick, it would make sense. Is this in update? I guess so, actually. It's just the camera stuff. I don't know. This is fine. What's the current stack? There's an FAQ. That's why I made the FAQ. I'm a little tired, sorry. Alright, do I have a random thing in here? If not, I think it's time that I put, like, some random thing in the registry. Or at least the random engine. I don't know if there's a problem, really, with that. I feel like there shouldn't be. Let's see, where's random engine? I feel like I should just be using one of these in most places. Static context per. Yes, it was, but you can't have it like that in a struct, and I just chill for a minute. Just chill. You can. Okay, thank you. STD random device. Sounds like more like you're making a game that is accumulating engine parts. Yeah, we're adding bit by bit. Like we're adding screen shake now, and the other day we were adding a different renderer, and sometimes we'll be like, oh, we're going to add the ability to have an inventory and hold weapons, or we're going to write an animation system, or physics, or collision detection. Get inline context per. Okay. Sure. There you go. Thank you, Linter. Game. Random engine. This thing. Where am I setting up the registry? It's here, right? STD random device. I'm going to make a component called random number generator. It's going to have an STD random device. It's going to have at least a random percent, because I use those all the time. Did I just construct it? I don't fully remember. I'll need to check that again in a second. STD random device. I'm gonna assume that there's a reason I constructed it like this. It's just got a default engine. Random engine is a different type. Is it? Default random engine. Oh. Interesting. I guess the other places just have a reference, don't they? Just for getting an initial seed. Okay, this is fine then. I use these all the time, and I feel like it would be really handy to have one of these in the registry. It was only the other stream I realized that I had the fucking asset manager stored in here, or the no, yeah, the asset manager. Anywho, this is all. I think the system itself will have a the camera thing. Maybe even I could even put it in here. You know, random percent. We could say random angle, screen shake, random angle, uniform real distribution. Am I going to use it as a float and sine cosine it, or I could separately have an x and y. What would the overhead for that be? I'm guessing the RNG function is more expensive than sine and cosine, but maybe not? I'm not sure, actually, if it even really matters. My thought is every update, every time we want to re-randomize it, X and Y would bias it to be more square-like. Yeah, sine cosine might be best then, because I basically want to pick a random angle and have it move in that direction, and then that one, and then that one, and that one. I don't know how interpolated it needs to be. I guess we'll find out. Let's just write something down first and see how I'm feeling. Let's put a random number generator into the registry. In fact, I could even put the random device in there as a reference. That might be dangerous, actually. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I'll just have its own one. Why is it less since it's perfectly fine? Okay, this is fine then. Put a random number engine in there. Do I even need to do that? Can I just... Oh, you know, okay, fine. Fine, okay, let me think. We've got our RNG, we want to go to our random radian. Maybe random radian would be handy to have. Random radius was just a random distance from the player to spawn enemies at. It's a little funny. But random radian, that's basically what we're going to reuse here. So let's see. RNG. Pop one of those in there. Oh, I hate this. This should definitely be different. How's everyone's weeks been? You guys been busy? Let's see, random radian. I'm guessing the other one is just 0 to 100, right? 0 to 1. Fine. 0 to 100, 0 to 1. Doesn't honestly massively matter, does it? Well, actually, wouldn't it be 0 to 99? 1 to 100, I guess. How does it work, actually? Is it a start until less than end? Or what? Does it include... It does kind of matter. Or at least percents and stuff. Min and max. Like if I set the max to 100, does it make 100 or does it make... It's inclusive. Okay, so 1 to 100 is... Actually, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 98, 99, 100. You had a friend's... you had a friend's birthday on Tuesday. You've got another friend's wedding this weekend. You're fucking popular, aren't you? Bloody hell. Good luck. I'm effectively the same radius every time, a varying radius. Yeah, the radius... That's going to be the intensity. So, random radian is just nice to have. Random radius. Okay, actually, hang on. I'm talking over my thoughts. Mr. 2 friend haver. Look at Mr. 2 friend haver over here, bloody hell. Let's see. No. Oh, this is a const export. I normally name these differently, don't I? I'm starting to mix up my work and my personal preferences a little bit. It's problematic. The float one is min-max, but there's hardly a difference if you think about it. Sorry? Between min-max and min-max inclusive? Is there hardly a difference? I guess it could be any floating point within that space. Yeah. Well, if I were to floor it, then it is a difference, right? If I wanted to get a number, because it's a percent, I'll usually be checking for less than equals to 20, for example. But that might actually mean that I've calculated it as being a 19% chance. Which might not sound like a lot, but, you know. It's a bug in most implementations that might give max anyway. Okay. So should I do 0, 1 or something to make sure that it actually goes to 100? Or is that stupid? Or like 0, 0, 0... Or should I maybe use integers? I mean, I've been using float. It's fine, honestly. It's not like a fucking competitive MMO, whatever. Silly shooty game. I shouldn't worry too much about this sort of thing. Okay, let's see. This needs to be random, so we're going to say float random angle equals camera offset dot screen shake random angle. We'll pass in registry dot context get random number. Oh, I'll probably want to get this. Const auto RNG equals this. And we'll want auto ref, thank you. Bum, because we'll want to actually overwrite the value that's there. I think that's how this works. So this, we'll pass in RNG.randomEngine. Angle is, what was it, cosine and sine? I think it's this way around, right? So that will give us a direction, normalized direction. We multiply that by the intensity. And then the intensity needs to be... This is why maybe the times to change angle matters. We'll do... I don't know if this is the best way to do it. Screen shake. I mean, we could always do it outside the for loop and not the for loop, I guess. Intensity multiplied by equals 0.9. I don't know. I'm kind of making this up. And let's say if it's less than some constant, let's say 0.1f, we just clamp it. We could even just clamp it. We could say camera_set.screen. Oh, wait. Do I need to do equals clamp, or how does it work in this again? Is clamp something? Is it a function you pass into, or is it return from? Max val. I'm guessing it's actually std clamp. Is std clamp? Well, actually, no. This isn't quite right, actually. I think my original thought was correct. That would be a min, which would then be a mix, right? You gotta go. See you, dude. Thanks for watching. Min be 0. Yeah. Be 0. But I want to make sure that it just cuts off at a certain point, maybe. If I'm multiplying it by something, at some point the curve's going to be very smooth, and I don't want like tiny jitters. I'd rather it just stops. Not a clamp. No, that's what I was saying. And then we'll say we'll have a function in where's camera offset? We'll have a function called void add camera shake. We'll say float intensity. Additive intensity, and we'll say screen shake intensity equals additive intensity. Should I adjust the timer based on intensity? Maybe it shouldn't even be a timer, it could also just be... Oh no, this is an update, it should be in a timer. Could also be that the randomize angle timer is the only thing that goes on. So, and then that each time reduces the angle until it goes below a certain amount, and then it cuts off. In which case this burn down timer wouldn't need to exist. It would be this, and this, and this. So we'd have number of times to change angle, RNG. I guess we wouldn't have to do this get operation if this is 0, but maybe that's okay. Let me think. Blah 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 blah. Number of times to change angle. Intensity is that. Then maybe intensity instead is... Well, no, intensity shouldn't necessarily be tied to time. Because you'd have a really far... Well, actually, I think it's... I need to decide whether or not I want a big shake to always take a long time to settle. Because you could also have a really big shake that settles pretty quick. And I could also just make it a constant time. Basically, I'm trying to think, like, how I want to approach this. I think there's a lot of ways to do it. I don't know what games normally do, so it's kind of fun to come up with my own thought. I might be wrong. We could change it. One of these numbers might be, like, way off. Like, the angle timer is constant. This might be maybe more like that. I don't know. Get the idea. Could also say that for every... I don't know what number, but let's say 1 in the intensity is another second on the burn down timer. I'm just thinking that if the intensity is less than this amount, it should just stop. Which I guess it does already stop. It doesn't need to change the angle. And again, this is a countdown loop, so this will just be always looping, won't it? Instead, I could say if intensity is... Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. I think this is actually not such a bad idea. If the screen shake intensity is larger than 0. So if there's even a reason to screen shake, then we calculate how many times we want to change the angle. We generate a random angle, fine velocity based on the intensity. We adjust the interpolated position. We decrease the intensity by, honestly, this is quite a lot. It's basically tied to how fast this timer is. Any reason you're doing this with the actual camera instead of a shader screen space effect? Because this is the easiest solution that came to my mind. I don't know how I'd approach that with a shader. I have... I'm not like super good with shaders. Like we have this, but this has been like a struggle. Obviously the main menu, but it's not really the same sort of thing. So yeah, this is just something I'm more familiar with. Don't know how I'd want to do that. Like I do, isn't the better question why you do it with the shader so you just shift the camera? Well, I'm trying to think. The thing is, like, the camera is very easy for me to adjust. Like I've already got my function here to interpolate the target position with some nice interpolation. It's like as you move the screen around, the camera has a bit of lag on it and all that. So just adding an offset to this is quite simple to me. But I imagine if maybe more of your drawing code was done in shaders, it might be easier. But then the thing is, this number, this view center gets passed into the shaders, so I'm just setting it here instead of later. You interact with any system with the camera. I don't really have that many. Like my camera is basically, I think it's fine, like in its current state. Like just adding an offset is not such a big deal. We have certain guns, like the sniper rifle, you can right click and it lets you peek a bit further. Like we've got a couple of things that interact with the camera, but it's pretty separated from stuff. I try to do stuff based on like distance to the player rather than like is it on screen. Other than like drawing, for example, obviously. Yeah, I think it's better if it was necessarily. I guess. For me, I'd be interested to see how you do it, just because I'm pretty bad at shaders. I'd be interested to see a solution for that. I'd like to get better, so I'll try and use more shaders as I go on, but it's an interesting idea. Let's think. So changing the angle, we're coming up with a new angle, velocity, adjusting it if it's less than some cutoff point, just so it doesn't vibrate. This cutoff point might be too much, too little, I don't know. We set it straight to 0, and then I think that's it. Bish bash bosh, easy game. Not quite. No, I get it. I was genuinely trying to think about your response. I think I'm not good enough at it. It's a good idea. Are you were you working on your own project yourself? I forget if I've asked. Possible. I'm a little sleepy. These are illegal. This is like €1 from the fucking Aldi, and it is like half a liter of an energy drink. It's insane. I don't know how it's so cheap. The ingredients are just water, lemon. What's this in English? Holzer, I forget. Taurine. Yeah, just a bunch of like regulator, stabilizer, caffeine, carotene, vitamin. There's nothing weird in it. They don't even put crushed beetles in, and it's 32 milligrams. You shouldn't drink that at 9. I'll be asleep. I know I shouldn't. I've had terrible sleep this last week. The other day at work, I think I had. I had a coffee or two in the morning, and then I went to the office. And then I like to, at work, I press the espresso button on the machine until it fills up my thing. So I think that was like 4 or 5. Let's say 4. And then a couple hours later, I got really tired, so I did like another 4 times, and I think another 3 or 4 times later. But then I don't think the espresso machine at work is actually giving out a proper shot. It only grinds for like half a fucking millisecond, and it comes out such weak coffee. I was like dragging myself around. I was quite tired. It's very weird within the space of like 40 minutes to go from like normal state to just like collapse, and then like try to edge your way back up and then collapse. Today was a little better, but still quite a long day. Like I feel accomplished in what I did at work. I did some pretty deep diving into some like Bluetooth stuff that I honestly didn't know about. Found a bug that has probably existed in our code base for like 4 years. A lot of people made an assumption that something worked in one way, but it didn't. And that assumption led... work, huh? Yeah, I just wanted to do a bit of game programming. You're working on your first game in FPS using a weirdo game engine. Hell yeah. What engine or language are you using? Hey, I should let me think for a minute. The only countdown. I think an engine called Trial, written in Common Lisp. Trial Lisp. Okay. Modular Common Lisp engine. What makes it common? You got, yeah, I see you did stars. I just found the GitHub. It's been moved because of Microsoft. It's gone to Codeberg. Common Lisp is the language. It's a loose connection of components that can be fit together. Sounds like something I know. Nice. Lisp, huh? I've never written Lisp. It's one of the languages like they tell you about at uni, but I've not written it. There's not much point in storing random percent and radian as members since they're use case specific. If all you need from it are random floats, you can just store the engine and use generate canonical to get 0 to 1 floats that you can scale for each use. Why is there not much point in storing those? Generate canonical is not something I've been using. -1u to get 0 to 1 floats that you scale for each use case. So I get 0 to 1 float you can just use as a whatever, or you can multiply it by this amount. How useful is that to me? It just sounds like I'm moving the code from here to here. I thought it would be really convenient for me to just, from anywhere, call rng.random% random engine, and then it gives me a random percent. That seems pretty handy to me, I'll be honest. I mean, I could make it a function that does what you just explained, obviously. Get random percent, get new radian or something. The Twitch seems to be deleting your URLs. You need to put like a space in it or something, or -1u means as many as possible. What does that mean? We want not one number. Or do you mean like this just generates a huge list of random floats? Like what does that function do? I don't understand quite. Steam powered. Thanks for the censored URL. Let's see. I recognize that pattern. It's Steam. Andrea. Explore an open world. I need to mute it in case it's copyrighted. Open world of caverns and settlements. Looks cool. Very artsy fartsy. Nice little lighting. Yeah, this is cool. This is done in Lisp, huh? Lisp syntax. Yeah, it's this. Oh, dude. Well, it's not that weird, but like, as someone who's not used it, it's a little hard to pass, I guess. Was it made for like ease of use? Road is written, it's all written as S expressions or parenterized lists. Function call or syntactic performance. Okay. Hey, good monkey. The second template parameter is bits. Oh, I missed that comment. I'm quite tired, I'll be honest. Many bits. Gamers will play open source. That's cool. That's not common at all. Okay, let me think. Let's go to our game. This is going to take all evening if I don't just continue. Why are there 62 problems? I don't see them. see. We've got our debug window here, reload assets. I should get a slider float, and it can be camera shake. Camera shake intensity. No way, I'm fucking stupid. I'm quite tired. Camera shake intensity. And then it's gonna have to be a static. What are you? You're just something over here, aren't you? Maybe we want to make it a static auto, static float. Yeah, I'll do it like this. Static float. Camera shake intensity equals, well, 0. And we'll say if camera flat, do I even need to do this? I might not need to do this. I might be able to get away with just this. Oh no, actually no, I need to tie this to something. Do it like this. So if our float gets... I'll push base velocity actually. The parentheses are S expressions. The reason of the S expressions is because of the macro system. S expressions make it easy to manipulate list as data. Oh. When redundant data is a bad thing. Okay, donut. Fine. My character max half. I guess I could just directly reference the system manager last selected character. I must be using the context here, right? I was just remembering that we did something fancy, but maybe this is just fine. So we're going to get our random number generator like this. Const auto RNG equals this. Camera shake intensity, bam, bam. It'll go from 0 to, I don't know, 20. No idea. And then we'll just say RNG dot... Oh, not RNG, sorry, I'm dumb. This needs to be camera offset. This needs to be offset, of course. Camera offset screen shake intensity is this. And then you are a float, and you are a float. A static float. What do I need to do? You're const, aren't you? Yeah. I don't even need to have this outside. I can just do this even. That might work. No idea. Let's find out. What are the 62 problems? It's just gonna be a bunch of random warnings, right? So this is a problem in Microsoft Visual Studio. So 38 problems come from random. And then some of them are saying that I'm not using a header, which is fair, honestly, that's fair. That's it, it's just headers that don't need to be included. This thing could be made const. Yeah, that's true. Alright, Donut. Just not today. Not today. Okay, what are we missing? You're afloat, right? Well, it could be const, of course. Can't I convert this to gen? Okay. Oh, you want to be a no discard, right? Fine. I'm passing an int somewhere, aren't I? Member function. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I just wanted to get this working. my linter's angry at me. What's going on here? I usually want to go to the top here, don't you? Let's see. Systems manager. Yep. Unsigned in engine. Can I convert this gen? Oh, is the way conversion is a twister engine. It's the way that I'm constructing it may be wrong. Default random engine. Default random engine. I have a feeling that this is not correct. This whole default thing. I could swear random engine was normally something else. Why did you tell me it was not? This is a default random engine. Well, this is in game, of course. I should have picked a different one. You are a default random engine, but how do I construct you? STD random device. Am I not constructing you with an STD random device? I am. Reading the whole error from top instead of guessing. Fuck off. Yes. Like, come on now. What did I look like I was just closing my eyes or something? Let's have a look. Have I seen... I don't know what Claude Fable 5 is, no. Is that something from Gamescom? I didn't really follow. I saw there was like an Ocarina of Time remake, but I've not played the Fable games. I know you're a uniform random distribution. Let's see. How do I normally use these? Do I normally need to construct this with something? I'm guessing that this has not been constructed at all. This is already kind of weird, actually. Yeah, this doesn't match at all. Screen shake random angle should actually just be a float, or not in here at all. Yeah, let's do this. So we don't actually want to use this. We want to use 3.random radian. Now what's wrong with you? Can I go to const? Const method is not marked const. Okay, that's fine. We'll have a float get random percent. Return 0. That's a random number. Float get random radian. And then you can actually... Well, I'd like to have the random engine, but... whatever. Private, public, it's fine. It's an AI thing. Okay, I don't care. Very cool. Do they use const correctness yet? Question. Let's see. What did you suggest earlier? Generate canonical. Let me look at CPP ref. CPP ref generate canonical. How does this work? Generates a random floating point in 0 to 1. To generate enough empathy. Blah 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 blah. SSD generate. Okay, this looks nice. Thank you, Lord. I'm reading the thing. I understand how to go from 0 to 1 to 100, but thank you. Some implementations have avoided returning 1 by subtracting a small value, infinitesimally skewing the statistical uniformity. Current standard requirement is that the random bits would be 81.9. The specification provides no default for the number of bits, and the exact value for precision is numeric limits double digits. For almost all uses, the best choice is to use -1u with the same result. What does -1 unsigned? So they're just sort of doing the they're just sort of they're passing in -1 as a way to say it's like a sentinel or whatever. I don't know. So what was it? STD numeric limits. -1u. Oh, really? It's is that just sugar for numeric limits unsigned max? That's odd. Okay. Generate random percent. Return. Wait, that's stupid. What was this? Generate canonical. Generate canonical float. That'll be good for me. And then was it -1u? Does you even in hover, do you tell me? Of course not. Of course not. And then you probably want to have a random number generator put in, don't you? Engine. So this is 0 to 1, and I'll just multiply that by 100. I think that's fine. It's what happens when you have an unsigned 0 and underflow it by 1. Oh yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. That's a pretty interesting shorthand, actually. That's cool. Okay, and then random radian can just be this multiplied by this value here. Fine. There you go. Oh, it's not needed. Okay. Looks good to me. Ship it. So we'll just say rng.generate. Save. Did I not save? Sorry? You're a struct. These are floats. Yeah, I just build. Maybe it's not sure about itself. This should be public. I'm thinking maybe it's saved while private was still in there, or what? Oh, the results still unsigned. Oh. Is it just complaining about the -1u? No, minus operator applies to unsigned type. Yeah. It's saying, I guess the warning is you're using an unsigned number, you can't make it negative, even though the behavior is that it underflows. So yeah, we can just do the STD. I mean, they had it on the CPP ref, right? Oh, I can even const export that. Well, this is a double. Why did they suggest a double on the website? You suggested floats. Whatever, just max floats. Digits is not max. Yeah, I'll just copy this off the CPP ref. But you're suggesting something different to CPP ref. Yeah, I'm generating a float. I'm surprised that there's not. Yeah, they're using a double. I'm surprised that this isn't just like a easy to access thing. This seems like a pain to type out. Whatever. Generate canonical, no longer things found. Unsigned. Oh, I'm still passing. Oh, sorry, I changed it the wrong way around. Yeah. Okay, so interesting function. It hates this. What does generate canonical expect here? Gen in their thing is an MT19937. 19937. Why is there no overloading function found? Invalid explicitly specified argument for template bits. Digit is a number of bits. Sorry, what on earth are you on about? You're missing concepts up. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm quite tired. I can say max unsigned. We'll pass in the max number of bits. How about now? They used the -1u here. Was this max unsigned, not the -1u value? Are you angry because it's not using... They're irrelevant because they're huge numbers that can be larger than float digits. Okay. Sorry, I need to read this webpage again. Give me a second. To generate enough entropy, it calls G k times, where k is blah. So they say double -1u gen, and then they pipe in... Oh no, they're piping that the other way. Sorry, a moment. Random engine is a default random engine. It's not angry that it's using the wrong default engine, is it? So it could be the error, please. Invalid explicitly specified argument. I don't want to use digits instead of max. Digits, huh? $32. Oh, is digits literally just number of digits? Not unsigned digits. Fucking hell. This is a pain. Let's see. Digits. What's this called? Number of bits. Number of bits. Let's do it like that. That's what this argument's called, right? Float. Aye. Who's DMing me? Oh, it's the boys. There's a new Overwatch character. Some of it says a size T. Sure, why not? Why not? Why not? I feel like I'm getting in the weeds here about something that wasn't terribly important. But look, here we go. Sorry, the Discord notification. I'm very popular. I'll disable it, sorry. At least for now. Sorry. My friend had a surgery, and he is hopped up on painkillers and posting about Overwatch. Alright. Random Radian is not a member of Random Number Generator. Good. You should be using Get Random Radian. Get Random Radian. Now tell me, little guy. It's not marked as const. Sorry, is it a const function? Are you angry at me because update cameras isn't const? Like, what are you going on about? This argument to member function get random radian has type blah 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 RNG const. Oh, I need to just make the function const, because this is a const reference. This needs to be... Yeah, I mean, these can be const functions. That makes a lot of sense. And then const no discard. That's fine. Aye. Okay. I've been watching, it can't be const. This mutate, really? This mutates? Huh. Weird that this lets you compile this, then. You get the same number every time. So if you call this from a const position, it just doesn't change the number each time. That's funny. Alright, in which case I either have to const cast it or put it in a const... Well, you can still be no discard, that's fine. Let's see. Is this a use for const cast, or is that stupid? Should I make update cameras const? You aren't const, though. You're modifying all sorts of things. So much fiddling to get a random float. I mean, I had it at the start, but I need to rewrite it to be proper. Make RNG non-const. Yeah, I guess it's the easiest thing. C++, Sid. Sid. C++. Let's see. So RNG is non-const. Let me recompile a second time, because the first time it didn't quite catch it. There is no fiddling. Yep. Been an hour of fun, hasn't it? I've been enjoying it. Let's see. Camera shake intensity. Looks amazing, doesn't it? To an ad. It might be way too fucking high. Okay, let's actually make this... I think maybe this velocity intensity thing might be a bit much. Or not enough. No, because this is basically tiles, right? Or what? Let me think. Screen share intensity, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's too fast as well, if I make this more like this. And I go to my game... Oh, cinema. If you're on YouTube, adblock might work better. Don't tell anyone I said that, though. Maybe 0 to 1 makes more sense. Okay, you can't actually see on your screen, but it does make the screen shake, but only for like a split frame, because it's obviously not saving between. It's only... oh, you can see. It's only shaking for that like 1/10 of a second. What I need to do is check my logic, because I think it's bad. Let's see. Well, the intensity is actually larger than 0, so it should still be coming in here, actually. We should be doing this modification outside of this times to change angle. So angle is this. Velocity, it's this stuff. Let me think. We should probably store the angle then, I guess. That would make sense. Or at least the angle or the velocity maybe. Would I be recalculate? I think I'd recalculate the velocity each time. So I can just store the velocity, I think. That's okay. You don't want your 1 penny. You think I get 1 penny? That's a funny thought. I think so. We're already storing the intensity. Why not just store velocity? Vec2 previous screen shake velocity. Screen shake velocity is, well, plus equals that velocity, I guess. Or is that velocity? I guess we don't have to add it each time. And then, yeah, fine. We can just say if blah is larger than 0. No, actually, I think this was fine. Do a for loop. Fine, we're doing this multiple times. I'll live with my life. It'll still be there. It's that I want this to go down the correct number of times. Screen shake intensity less than 0, set it to 1. Okay, and then this will be camera offset dot blah. Okay, he's not thought about it yet. And then I'll say if it's larger than 0, then blah, 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 interpolated plus equals that. Bam. I think that's it. So we say, if there's any intensity, great. We work out how many times we want to change the angle. We can calculate an angle, velocity, whatever. We save it. We lower the intensity a little bit. This will be lowered multiple times if this has been skipped a few times, which is nice if you were to maybe leave this game for a second and physics needs to catch up. We'd go back to 0. I might just be it. Might put screen shake in its own place now, I don't know. Yeah, look at that. Screen shake. Now you can change the intensity to 1, so it's now going between, I think, the size of 1 tile at a time. If I center my mouse, it's actually... You can kind of see it going 1 tile at a time. And now I can just change the frequency at which it changes. So if we say it's every 0.01, for example, and this stuff could maybe be put in the im GUI, but I don't know how much I care. Maybe I care a little bit. I basically just want to see that going down. I might put it on im GUI so we can mess around with it. I don't know. And then the next step is to start spawning in shake when like a rocket gets hit or whatever. Look at that. Just imagine like having a headache every time you shot your gun. I think that's not bad. We can maybe change the cutoff to be a little lower. But otherwise, let's store it in here. Screen shake cutoff is, let's say, 0.001 or something, I don't know. 100th of a tile. How about 10th of a tile? And this can be... What's wrong, little guy? Oh, sorry. This can be in here. Camera offs. Camera. Come on. Aye. Just type it. Don't trust the autocomplete. IntelliSense has never worked. And then this multiplied by 99 could be screen shake decrease. I don't know. Screen shake multiplier. What would you call a multiplier that goes downwards? Negative multiplier? Reduction multiplier? Yeah. Clearing, settling multiplier? How to code? You're watching it, buddy. Decay? Yeah. I like that. That's a nice one. Fine. Obviously, you're going to be this. Looks awesome. Thank you. Okay. So let's add it to something, right? It's as simple as getting this and then adding. So let's say, for example, when we go to our weapons system. Weapon system. Somewhere in here, we're like spawning bullets, right? Oh, this is a bunch of fucking nonsense. What was all this? Goodbye. Ooh. How'd you go from a blank page for a fully playable game? Like 10 years of typing. You could do it in 1 year if you want 1/10 of the game. We've been doing this from scratch, yeah. You can watch all the VODs. I've been streaming this since like COVID. There's a playlist on this channel and my second channel. You can see how it's changed over the years and how my hair's been slowly getting grey and falling out. Started learning DSA. DSA? PSA pattern. What is this? PSA CPP? Data structures and algorithms. Oh. Oh, I liked that course. Yeah, that was one of my favorite courses at uni. You're a fresher. Or in a fresher. You know, you are. Yeah, this was a good module at uni. I like that. Nice. What you should learn next? Are you doing a course or what? In which case, I'd do whatever your teacher says. Do projects, dude. That's always the best idea. Data science. Hell yeah, buddy. Let's see. So we're spawning particles in here, spawning casings, spawning bullets. So after we spawn the bullet, we simply get the camera offset, add camera shake, and then let's just say, I don't know, like we have like the weapon dot. Do we have the weapon data in here? We must, right? Weapon data, yeah. Weapon data dot mass divided by like a lot, like 100, because the weapons weigh quite a lot. And then I'll also say, in a collision system, when there's an explosion that explodes, this shouldn't be affecting anything in the registry, right? I think this is okay. We're not adding anything to the registry. Let's see. Tile blah blah blah. Local impact damage. Let's just say damage equals, maybe. So this is during explosions. Max damage is this. Damage multiplier is this. We're going to add how much damage? Damage divided by 100 as well, maybe. Static cast size T. Damage. Sorry, size T. Am I fucking stupid? Float. Let's do minus divided by 50. And then what else? Damage equals. Is this when we are hitting an entity, right? Donut circles, create a rational remaining. U as well. Float damage. Damage is already. Damage dot. Damage. And you already have float? Yeah, easy game. And then let's also add this to our physics system. Explosion. I guess really it's most places you're spawning an explosion, right? You might want one. We might be adding a few too many of these. Most explosions explodes. That's true. Recently you're getting to make new things like CMake and H files, which you have no idea of when going through open source. Can you provide a roadmap? This isn't how you type to like people on the internet. This is how you type to like a chatbot. I'm a human. Yeah, that you could say like, how would you suggest I improve my programming or something? You want me to like write a roadmap for you, or what would you actually like? I'm like a person. I'm like a normal person. I have like stuff on my desk, like a knitted chicken. You know? How was your day? That sort of thing. What did you have for dinner? I made a curry. You're getting to know about CMake and H and stuff. Just continue learning. You know, there's a good amount of foundation there. Follow a course or try and complete. I always say try and do like projects and stuff. You can learn a lot by just making a new blank file and trying to make it do stuff. Try and, you know, make a parser for some data type you've made up, or try and Try and make something that draws a picture to a window so you can learn how libraries work or whatever, you know. Try and make a game like Battleships or something. You searched CMake but couldn't find a good YouTube video about it. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. You might want to learn from a book or from like a website. I don't know how helpful a YouTube video is. I think it's nice that you did search. I don't know, is YouTube a good place to learn about that sort of thing? Maybe. I mean, there's plenty of YouTubers. Have you learned programming on YouTube and stuff as well? Can you recommend some? I mean, I don't watch much programming YouTube. I watch like what's his name? JCW or something? There's a guy doing a bunch of stuff in C. I don't remember. CMake has almost no good tutorials. Never had good tutorials, much less YouTube videos. Yeah, I mean, I struggle with CMake, I'll be honest. You might just want to read like documentation about people using it, or just look at some small projects and read their files, and you know, if you're unsure about something, Google it. That might take 10 years. Like CMake is fucking, I don't like it. It's hard to read through. None of these systems are easy to read through, but start by reading a PPP3 book. Yeah, I mean, you can also compile stuff manually, or you can just use a really basic CMake file. You don't need anything terribly fancy. If you follow a super basic tutorial, I'm sure they'll explain their way around it. And if you do directly want to learn about CMake, I don't know the best place to look. Myself. If you can find one, let me know. CPP cons and stuff, yeah. I mean, but experts using it is not going to be the same as a beginner learning to use it. Like, CMake has some basics, right? You can add source files to an executable. You can add directories. You can set flags. There's lots of options. You can set a version. You can set compile options. You can target your link libraries. Like this is a pretty common looking CMake file. There's nothing terribly fancy in here. Programming principles and practice in C++ PPP3 is an introduction to programming for most people who never programmed before. That looks nice. I have that. That's good advice. Honestly, I like books, but I look like this. I like a book. I find them. Usually people spend more time writing a book than they do making a YouTube video. Not always the case, but like they'll be typeset and edited and thought out and reviewed and revised and updated, and people will review them and say, yeah, this book helped me in my journey. And maybe they're a better source of information than YouTube for this sort of thing. That's, you know, what's the word? Exposure's not the word. I'm too tired. You know what I mean. I'm just yapping. I'm sleepy. Okay. I don't know. There's spawn explosion. Honestly, should it be on when? Yeah, it probably should be on when you spawn explosion, right? So let's just say we spawn an explosion of size 2. Spawn explosion. So you do it here. Add camera shake 2. 2, huh? Okay. And then you, for every explosion to create. Yep. Add it up. And then we can actually modify this down a little bit. We don't need quite all of these. So when you do damage, I don't think we want that. This might be a bit much. Alright. So now when you spawn an explosion or shoot a gun, it will screen shake. And maybe in the... Should I make it also screen shake when you hit something with your gun? I don't know, it might be a bit much. Oh, it's by Bjorn. Don't I have one of his? Effective modern C++, C++ software design, and a tour of C++. I don't think I have. I don't think I have that. Some of them have nice language. Like some of the books are written like it might sound scary, like a big programming book. It might sound like it's really like academic and difficult. But like if it's written for a beginner, they're normally quite digestible. Okay, this revolver might be a bit much screen shake, but you get the idea. It does make it feel more powerful. Hang on. The screen shake is what we've always needed. You see how much... Okay, the explosion might be a bit much. Hang on, isn't that like sick? Isn't that really cool? It's like way too much, but like that's really cool. Hang on, the flamethrower might be a little frightening because that thing's heavy. It does look awesome. Sniper rifle. Oh, dude. Okay. The impact has to make screen shake. Like when the sniper rifle hits something, it has to shake. I think I just like halved the screen shake from shooting, but like, holy shit. Maybe velocity should be taken into account, like mass and velocity. Because like the revolver weighs like a lot less than the sniper rifle, but it should still have some decent screen shake. Like the sniper rifle weighs a decent amount, but the bullets shoot really fast, so maybe I don't know. It's all made up. Does the knife have screen shake? The knife has screen shake, dude, because the knife weighs some amount. That shit's funny. How long does it take to become proficient in C++? A university course is like 3-4 years. If you think that's proficient, you could do an adult evenings course over like a year or two, I reckon, as well. If you've done other programming languages, you could probably learn it in a couple of months. To at least do like some basic stuff. But like to become good at C++, that's like a 50-year fucking career. Like even my colleagues are constantly learning stuff and they've been doing it for longer than I've been alive. It's a standalone C++. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe the shotgun might have a bit much screen shake on it. Maybe not per bullet, you know? Maybe screen shake per bullet's not a good idea. Flamethrower though. Yeah, it's perfect, right? Is it? It's perfect, right? Don't need. I think I need to change anything, right? No, I think it's good. Okay. Weapon system. Camera shake should be like this. So it'll be mass divided by this. Plus, and then we'll use the bullet velocity multiplier or something. What is bullet multiplier? Somewhere between 0 and 1. 0.81. Plus this. Well, maybe multiplied by that. It's like a YouTube edit. Wait, are we doing this per bullet? Yeah, we are doing this per bullet. So I think we don't do this per. We just do it afterwards like this. Alright, let's try this again. And I also wanted to make it so bullets hitting walls also have a shake, right? Juice, like this sort of thing in game development is so much fun. Just like a cheap effect that just instantly looks like it just feels nice. I don't know if you guys remember the other day when Christina was showing off her mouse game, but she made it so when you shoot lots of carrots in a row, pop, 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 they line up and then like stretch and they like it looks awesome. Oh, how does future work? It's just an asynchronous function. You say there will be a value here in the future, so you can wait on it. I don't know if it's. I haven't used it that much, I'll be honest. But I mean, I'm using it here to do my level generation. I basically like you. I can show you where it's being used if that helps. So, every tick during level generation, I check to see if it's ready, and if it's ready, then I say, "Cool, the new map's ready. Load it, go." Synchronously. When I want to start my level generation, where am I doing that? New map. Sorry. I should say, waiver is ready. New map is this. Yeah, here we go. So this future.get in here. Async map is this. Go to our level generator. I think this in it of itself. Generate level returns a map. And this gets called from the systems manager. Here we go. So at game start, we place into the registry a future. Use std async. I don't know if that's C++20 or if you already had it in 17. Or is it older? I don't know. They have launchers and stuff to handle it. It was 11? Really? I had no idea. I always thought it was a new thing. Okay. So you can use their baked-in async launcher to just handle the mechanics of it. You don't have to worry about pulls or threading or switching contexts or whatever. And you just say what to do here. It simply returns this. And you can pass things in through this lambda, so I'm obviously getting this level generator settings passed in. It's basically just a way to await on something. It's very common in other languages. And I use it in level generation so I can asynchronously generate the level while also drawing and stuff in the main thread. It's very nice. Anyway, let's see. Remove, delete, to destroy. Here we go, task to destroy. So, should tiles also spawn screen shake? I don't know. Anyway, handle magnetic. No, that's okay. All bullets. Here we go. Trace is false. Entities to destroy this. Easy game. So if we're destroying the bullet, this is normally where we spawn the particle. We can also do a little screen shake. To do screen shake. Where do I normally do that? This thing. So we can spawn camera shake, which is based on our normalized particle velocity, maybe divided by something 200. I don't know. There's also like a multiplier, right? Velocity count multiplier. Yes, that's probably actually better. And then, so that means when the bullet hits an entity, or is this a wall? This is collision system. This is an entity, I think. That's fine. Let's check my physics system as well to destroy. Push. All normal. No, actually, this is fine. But ricochet. I don't know if ricochet stuff needs to screen shake. Here we go. Entities destroy entity. Camera. We'll just add like a tiny little amount. I don't know. Penetrates here is. It's not necessarily mentioning if it's. Oh, it is bullet type actually. How about damage? Damage is pretty big number. I mean, maybe do divided by 20 or something. What's wrong here? Damage dot damage, I guess. Maybe divide by 10. That's okay. It's like promise, but without the callback hell. Oh yeah. Okay, the screen shake's still a little strong, mind you, but I mean, if this was like an endgame weapon, maybe it would make more sense. But yeah, it's a bit strong still. I think I need to lower it way more. We did divided by 200. Let's say divided by 400. You don't want to give people like a headache. I normally turn down screen shake quite a lot in these games. Still a bit much. It's quite a lot. When the rocket hits a wall. Let's see. The shotgun shouldn't be as bad now because it's doing it once when you shoot rather than for every bullet. Okay, it's fine. Even less, actually. I think, like, divided by 700. Does mean that the knife probably won't do much. Probably want velocity as well, not just velocity multiplier. I guess that does make more sense, like the sniper rifle. Yeah, okay, we need to make the actual velocity take place in here, so we'll do start velocity multiplied by multiplier. You do I normalize you? I guess I could just do length, bullet speed. Let's do bullet speed. So bullet speed is a huge number. Might not even need the velocity multiplier thing really, but we'll see. No, I don't use the robot. Weapons, Jason, let's see. Bullet speed, what are you? Trailing comma, okay. Bullet speed, 17, 5. Alright, maybe we divide this by something. Sniper rifle, 50. Divide it by 50, maybe? Maybe. Something like this. I mean, these are kind of magic numbers, mind you, but yeah, that's juice, huh? The revolver is ejecting shells as you shoot. Yeah, try not to think too much about it. It also has infinite ammo. And I think the bullets... Something in here is going negative. Hang on. Weapon mass is 25. No, bullet speed is 25. And velocity multiplier is 0.8. Why is this going down quite so much? $65 divided by 600. 65 divided by 600. Was it 25? Sorry, 0.1. 25, sorry. 25 divided by 600 is 0.04. That's quite a lot down, isn't it? Let's try this, maybe. Hello, Sam. I just saw a second bullet. Probably should be also based on the distance to the camera, but that's not something I'm calculating right now. Maybe distance to camera would make sense. Didn't the flamethrower have a system for only ejecting the canister of that many shots? Maybe we can reuse it for the revolver. Oh yeah, don't worry, it does. And yeah, I could. I've thought about having like reloads and stuff. It's just not something I've been implementing right now. I may make it so there's reloads and ammo, just like a Team Fortress style one. I need to think about it though. This thing is shooting far too many flames. I guess the flamethrower weighs a lot, doesn't it? That's why I did that. Kind of makes sense, but it's a bit much, isn't it? Revolver. Be visual. No, but I want a reload system. You're misunderstanding. SMG. This one, I don't want to give people like an utter headache. I want the game to have a variety of systems. I'm also... I don't want people to think it's like a survivors game. Not because they're not popular, but because my knowledge is that they're a bit more of like a... Sort of a bit more of like a casual lean back kind of game. Even though they look like there's a lot going on, it's really just sort of going in circles and clicking on the upgrade that looks fun. I wanted the game to have a bit of mechanical depth to it, but obviously you can go too far and the game can be hard to approach. So you want mechanical depth that increases over the length of the game, But with a roguelite, it's kind of hard to do that because the length of the game is what, like half an hour or something, 40 minutes, 15 if you die. So I don't want it to be too much, but stuff like a reload was cool. I was talking with Cake or Tomu, or TK or Chris. Maybe no, I was talking with Chris, and she was saying in I've got a ruler, by the way. She was saying in Borderlands, one of the characters, the Necromancer or something, they have mechanics tied to reloading, and I thought that's interesting. Maybe I could investigate. There's like you get like damage multipliers the more you reload, for example, or whatever. So there's a reason to pick a weapon with less bullets in the clip because it reloads more often. Or you could particularly go for upgrades that increase reload speed instead of damage because it gives you a bigger damage multiplier, or it gives you critical hits for a second after reloading. There's stuff you can do with that, right? Sounds unintuitive. It could just be a character. There could be like a character that their thing is that they get benefits on reloading. It says in the description, you know. You get crits after reloading and like a small damage multiplier that decays. And you're like, okay, cool. So on this character, I'll pick like single fire weapons. That sort of thing. It's just interesting. It's nice to have options. Otherwise, you just have people using one loadout the whole time and it's not interesting. Anyway, bullet speed needs to be taken more into account. Mass needs to be a little bit less into account. And I'll just say maybe if there's a certain type, we can have an extra modifier. If weapon data dot bullet type is bullet type fire, then we'll just say looks like this here. Auto camera shake addition equals this. Bob-omb, easy game, camera addition. I'll just say camera shake addition is, let's just make it very small. We'll just hard code it. I might also make it so like the fire rate is involved. Like maybe it shakes less if the fire rate is high. What types of string? Oh, type fire. I think we had something like bullet type names at bullet type fire. I thought that was a thing. And then this gives you a string, doesn't it? Oh, I need to static cast that to size t. Static cast size t. Something like that. Oh. STD array, you pass in a string. You bullet type count. But you're an array of enum. I wrote blah 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 instead of blah blah blah, did I? Oh, I did, you're right. It's hard to see. Static cast size t file. That should be it. And then we want a bracket at the end, like that. Okay, and then when there's an explosion, spawn explosion, camera shake can be maybe 1, might be a bit more reasonable. Shake 1, and then when we hit a wall, I think this is a little low, so it's larger than 20, we spawn a big spark. So we just want to divide it by 10, maybe. No, that's too, maybe more like 50. Reload speed bonus. Yeah, I just like the idea of having a game with... The thing I like about RNG is having different runs where you discover like sort of unintended combinations of things. Right? You find out that like, oh shit, this item and this item like were clearly not designed to do this together, but they just work amazingly. They somehow produce this like insane system. Like the Binding of Isaac had a bunch of those that were hard-coded. Hard-coded interactions, like having Mum's knife and brimstone spawning like a big laser beam of knives. But just generally being like, oh yeah, like this effect if you do it a lot, is even stronger. So having something that lets you shoot bullets 1 trillion times a second, even if they do 0 damage, is really strong because you're now firing out flies 1 million times a second or whatever. I don't know. Oops. All right, let's see. So general weapon firing feels okay. Might be a little strong for the revolver at least. The explosions are still a little strong. I think 1 should be like safe for like a boss dying or something. SMG. Maybe it should be tied to damage even, you know, just to be like, this gun doesn't do much damage, so the screen shake isn't too bad. Like, this is a bit much, I think. Sniper rifle. This is the one I want. Like, it's just nice. Now I've been staring at it too long, it's less exciting to constantly stare at the screen shake, but like, it's cool. Okay, how about you? Okay, you're way too strong. Now, why is that? In our weapons system... It's because they're getting destroyed on a wall or something. I guess they're doing an addition every time it's shooting, so we just do divide by 10. That's fine. Let's make it a little smaller. Bullet speed can have a bit more of an impact. I don't know. It's the wall impact I want to look at. So that'll be in physics system, and this is when I think when we ricochet, we should be spawning in damage. Let's send console message. Oh, hang on, we're not doing via ground. We're not spawning the shake. Oh, yeah, we should fix that. Just running is 0. So this is for what? Bullets. If it's a rocket, then fine, that's handled. If it's a ricochet weapon, we can have a very small... I think we should definitely be calculating this based on distance to camera, by the way, but that's... Or player, I don't know. Camera? Center of camera, maybe. Let's see. Because yeah, maybe you could pass in like where the explosion is, and you could have it happen in that side of the screen. I don't know if that makes sense, but you could certainly like bias the shake to look like it's coming from a particular angle. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's see. Makeup stats. You feel like reload basic in that time. I mean, this is a arcade game. Don't get it twisted. The idea of a weapon that gives you health is viable in this game, but it would hopefully have a bit more juice to it than just it heals you. It would have to be like it heals you, but like if you miss, it hurts you. You know, like the Boston Basher, or it heals you, but only if you're in melee range. You know, like a vampire knife or something. I don't know. Or it could be an upgrade. Like it's an arcade style game. This isn't like a serious military shooter. Let's see, ricochet dot products. So ricochet is remaining as spawn particle. Let's see. We're just going to spawn this based on linear motion dot linear velocity, maybe. Do we have damage? We have a bullet, right? We have damage. Damage. Actually, we're already doing stuff with damage, aren't we? Damage divided by 10. That's fine. So if it's about to be destroyed, it's not going to do much damage. We've already mitigated that. That being said, bullet destroying. We can do this in here as well, I guess. Just for the sake of the ricochet doing a little bit something different. See, bullet penetrates. If it's penetrating, destroy it. Otherwise, and this else is about if it couldn't find the penetrates thing, you need to do the same. No, I thought I was spawning it down here, but I suppose not. Well, actually, this stuff's ran anyway, right? Yeah, we don't need this necessarily the shake in all of these things, do we? Get rid of that. Hang on. Shake. Shake. Shake, shake. You guys play Mischief Makers on the N64? I hope so. Shake. Oh. Divide by 50. I'm not still sure if that's a good idea, but it's fine. More about matching intuition expectation than fitting the theme. I think it's fine to surprise people. It's nice to pick up a flamethrower that does afterburn damage like you'd see rather than making stuff bouncy and reducing your cooldown. Oh, I kind of get what you mean, but the game could be a little silly. I need to reduce this by, I'd say, about half on impact. The impact is a little bit much. I think the shooting should have more than the impact, certainly. Holy shit. No. Alright, this is just the right amount of juice. Does this sniper rifle feel like it does a lot of damage? It could totally be tied to damage, by the way, but it might give you a headache in the late game. So we'll just say when we're doing this shake, we'll reduce that by 100, I think is probably okay. Explosion, I think, should be maybe 0.75. This stuff should be stored in a file somewhere, probably. Actually, 0.75. Maybe I'll clean these all up when I care. Shake. It's in this it's in this file, maybe. Let's see, divide by 100. You should be by 50. Wait, I said 100, right? No, no, no. It should be the other way. Damage divided by 10. Oh, that's... Did I say shooting kind of feels okay? I think it should still be... No, wait, this is impact, right? This is impact. Yeah. And this is purely based on damage. Still way too high, so we'll try 30. Weapon system. Shooting, did I say shooting felt kind of okay? It's a bit strong on the bullet speed. Let's check the flamethrower as well. Still a bit high on impact. I mean, this could just be max. Like, we could have a slider that is like general multiplier, and you know, like with speakers, it's not really a great example, but with audio, you can have like 100%, but a lot of people have it at like sort of 50%, 75, 25. And like you have the option to turn it up to max if you want, and everything can be like graded against that. So there's greater contrast between the lows and highs, but in reality most people lower it, so there's a crushing the differences a little bit. We could just make this like screen shake times 100, and then like default can be half of this, for example. It could just be a slider. I also completely forgot about the HUD that we made. This thing looks cool. Revolver, SMG. We want sniper rifle. So SMG, I think maybe the fire rate should be involved, just so it doesn't go like bonkers on it. Sniper rifle needs to do less. SMG needs to do less. Shotgun needs to be a little bit less. Let's see. The mass bullet speed, maybe 25 is fine. Something like that. Oh, at this point, I'm wondering if I should just have it set camera shake. We're using the mass as knockbacks. I was also wondering if maybe I could reuse that. Perhaps. You're kind of okay. I might still lower you a little bit more. 50% more. Let's camera shake. 50. You need to be quite a bit less. And maybe instead of using damage, you should also take into account the velocity. Does that make sense? I think it kind of does. Am I using a physics engine? Yeah. I'm using Donut's one. What kind of number are you? Particle velocity.x.y. So this probably needs to be multiplied by like a massive number, like, or like divided by like 50 or something, maybe. Should probably see what this number averages out to. I could do it with that breakpoint first. Explosions should do a lot less. I haven't seen like the seams that often. I see them sometimes on the actors still. I don't see them in the world, so I think we did properly fix that. At least not like in a noticeable way. Yeah, bullet speed should take into account. Your physics engine is in this version. No, I'm not using a physics engine. The basic shape types and intersects. Why not? No, I guess we're not. I mean, this is a physics. Like the game has physics, which is part of the game. If that makes sense. I don't really like that the knife gets moved. I feel like this should maybe have an exception. Maybe it's okay for the knife to be shot into a wall. I don't know, I feel. I have a feeling that maybe that should be accepted. Welcome. Does it feel like those aren't really doing anything when they hit the wall? Using box 2D? No, we're not using box 2D, no. Oh, sorry, the game's like covering all my code. We just have like our physics. I mean, that's what I've been looking at, like modifying. We have our physics system with all our collisions. We have our collision system with all our physics. If that makes sense. So collision is all of our like circle, AABB collision, all our capsules and whatnot. Physics system is with our world. So that's AABB collision. Hope that makes sense. Did you write it? Yeah. With help with chat, mind you. I don't want to claim full responsibility, but yeah. This is my code. Donut's been a good help, though. I cannot claim full credit. I'm not very good with maths, so I need a lot of advice for things like how intersects work, how the best way to work out a normal is. So I don't claim credit to the physics and the collision. Just because I don't feel like I've done enough of it, if that makes sense. It's not open source. I mean, you can read the code on my screen, but it's not open source now. You've been doing a 3D physics engine. Getting boxes stacking is such a pain. Maybe Donut has advice. How are you going about it exactly? Because I was under the impression that there's a fair amount of academic papers and stuff on realistically doing rigid body simulation and whatnot. How much of that are you following to the T, or are you just trying to sort of intuit it? Contact simulation. Yeah, well, like working out where every box is touching every other box, and then how much of each portion of its mass is impacting each other, and then when do you fucking give up and stop and just let them chill for like 2 minutes? Jeez. You have a broad phase collision detection that uses your AABBs. SAT for narrow phase. Okay. Collision. Let's have a look. Separating axis theorem. Oh, yeah. Determine if two convex shapes are intersecting. It's considered convex if a line drawn through the shape only crosses twice. Okay. Use XPBD until you realize you can't because NVIDIA has a patent on it, and relight the whole thing to use impulse-based soft constraints. Does yours do like just constant tiny little impulses of like a little bit of velocity here? Basically. I guess, yeah, I've seen it working, I guess. Hang on, let's fix this SMG thing. So when we're doing our weapon system, we need to let's see, weapon dot fire interval. What was it? Interval, shooting interval. U in our weapon. What's an example of my fire interval? We've got something like 1,300. Your interval is 1,000, so it's in seconds, isn't it? Shooting interval's 50. So we need to have like an inverse relationship here, or maybe just make damage have more of an impact in the algorithm. You don't need to solve the system of equations, you can just kind of hack it. Stacking requires solving, and you do sequential impulse. It was for a project for animation class, but you kept working on it. It's also does substepping, which is the same as Box 2D 3.0, based on Erin Cato's blog posts. You could try substepping. Have you read Eric Cato's blogs? Eric Cato substepping. Continuous collision. Oh, this is on Box 2D. You do substepping. Games are fancy flipbooks. I've read this. Or at least you've linked it. It's a purple link. Make the floor thicker. Ignore the bug. Make the floor thicker. That's speculative contact points. Yeah, I use, I guess I use, capsules for this sort of thing. Interesting. Nice that all this stuff is just logged. Do 8 substeps. How did you decide on 8? Is that a common thing, or is it arbitrary? Have I thought about making a YouTube series? I have, but like, God, it's so much work, and this is already a lot of work, and I have a full-time job and other hobbies, so I haven't. That's basically it. I'd like to do like occasional updates, just because they're fun, just to post a video and say this is what I've done in the last few months, but yeah. I'm not going to start a fresh project. Most physics engines use 6 to 12. I guess it's like a performance concern, right? For 1 or 2 boxes, maybe not so bad, but if you suddenly have like 2,000 things interacting, the difference between 6 and 12 might start to be pretty impactful, I guess. Or would you scale the number of substeps down with how many entities there are? Maybe. see. I'm just going to do something really basic here. If weapon data dot shooting is less than, let's say, half a 250, let's say quarter of a second. So if the gun fires really fast, let's say, then camera shake addition can be 250 minus shooting interval. Oh, do I want to be multiplied by that? Divided by 250 out of, no, this out weapon share out of 250. So it's full the closer it is to 250 and much less the closer it is to the bottom. But then maybe we do this multiplied by some amount, or maybe we even make that even smaller. We say it's, what's the SMG? 100? We just make this 100 maybe. What's the flamethrower? You shoot every 75, yeah. Just because this is like the rate that guns might start giving you a headache, basically. Let me just multiply it by this. So the Uzi, or the SMG is what was it? 25? No, that's the mass. Shooting at all. So it'll be 50 out of 100, so we'll halve it again. That makes a lot of sense to me. Just like a little extra something. Slop. You can't scale it down because it breaks the physics. Oh, does it need to be the same all the time? You need a certain amount of substeps because you don't resolve penetrations in all in one frame. There's a concept called slop you use. No, box is not jittering, you use slop. That's a terrible word, but okay. You can project the 4 steps worth of motion and do collision detection there and rewind back and do substepping while treating the calculated manifolds as planes doing their normals, using their normals. I should work on a 3D engine at some point. Oh, I guess this doesn't shoot that quick. Hang on a moment. Oh, I already turned it into seconds. So this needs to be less than 0.1. And then you need to be multiplied by 100. Half a second divided by 100 sounds like a terrible idea. Multiplied by 1,000, so 0.5. Actually, maybe I just add the shooting interval. An interesting thought. If it's less than a second, then we treat the actual fire rate as an addition. Just to basically mean that the faster the weapon shoots, the less of a headache it will give you. That makes sense. So it won't impact a revolver that much, I think. Do you less than 1? Oh, you're fine. But the SMG, for example, this should... Man, the bullets impacting do way too much. Oh, they're impacting things, yeah. Damage should definitely be taken into account here. I think it's not doing as much as it should. Yeah, you see this is not... Like, it is shaking the screen a tiny bit, but just not much. We could multiply by 2, I don't know, whatever. It's been a fun project. You know, like, no one does physics engines but me. I find them really interesting, but I'm so bad at maths that I try my best to understand them. Like, when we were writing our collision detection here, this took a really long time, like, to do, or at least the physics as well. Like, to get this all working as much as we like it, this was a real headache. And this is like 2D collision, right? Trying to learn the maths, at least required to think about it. If not write it from scratch, but at least to understand it is difficult for me. Like this finding smaller separation thing. I wouldn't be able to just make this up from scratch. Although I think I gave some of these things a good shot, I think. I understand like the high level concepts behind why or how you want to go about some of these things. You know, work out how far into something you are, work out which normal you're on. Do a little reflection maybe if you want the bullet to bounce. I've found all sorts out. I think just like at some point, maybe when I'm done with this, just doing a little, like a Minecraft clone or something in OpenGL. Something with like a known goal. Like I said, simple enough, but also complicated enough. Like that might take me like a year. I don't know. Just to learn a bit more about this stuff. Using SAT or GJK plus EPA. I'm not EPA yet. I'm still awake. Anyway, let's see. Get velocity count multiplier damage. So that's physics system. I guess in collision system you're not using that, are you? You're just doing velocity count multiplier. You need to take into account damage. Why are you not using the same calculation? Maybe I should have this stuff standardized. Damage. This stuff. That's still damage. Intersect all bullet. I mean, bullets should have damage, right? Okay, I'm just gonna pop this in here. Something like this will do. Damage dot damage. Yeah. SAT is better for boxes because it helps find the manifold. GJK is better for convex shapes. SAT collision. Separating axis theorem. Oh, you were talking about this earlier, weren't you? This is the website I was just looking at that explained convex, non-convex and stuff. What a handy website. You know, I have a feeling that the explosion when it destroys the walls is adding more screen shake, by the way. I don't know if it's in here. Maybe it's in physics system. Yeah. So the camera shake is already being added on. I think it's being added on twice. So let's get rid of that. And then maybe not for every explosion to create. Or maybe... Actually, no, this one is needed, I think. That should help a little bit. And then I think I'm going to have a slider somewhere. Just called camera shake multiplier. I'll make it 1.f by default, fine. And then when we are using this stuff, you should be up here. IMO. Maybe I could even have camera offset screen shake, you know? Just to separate things. When this is being used in here, shake, here we go. So this can be something that we could easily just add a number for. So if we go into our game, we'll have a look at shake. And we'll pop this here. Static float intensity, fine. Static float bomb. I did indeed just get used to the music, by the way. Camera shake multiplier. It could be set current camera shake intensity. Camera shake multiplier. Global. And this can be between 0 and 1, and this would just be a setting somewhere to the user. So if they're getting a headache, let's set it so you can have up to 2. So if you're getting a headache, you can just turn it down to 0 or whatever. Because I probably will. Another trick you use that's not super accurate, but since you have resting for optimization, presumably you almost always have resting in a game, right? I'd find it hard to think that you'd have a physics simulation in a game that just perpetually runs, right? It sounds bad for performance. Unless you know you have so few objects, and like if you have one football or something, you know, then maybe it's fine. But even then, like maybe it still wants to come to rest. Like I don't know. I'm thinking like if you had a mini golf game and something. But even in my like mini golf game, I still wanted the ball to stop. It wasn't so much stopping the friction as much stopping the collision detection as much as it was stopping the velocity though. This is not... Is this Unreal? This is not Unreal. Although it looks just like it, doesn't it? Okay, we need to go back to spawning screen shake and explosions better. Resting is not as important. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Let's see. I can now set the multiplier to 2. Now the screen shake is like crazy. Relatively. So I shot a rocket. Okay, we need our physics system. We need to add this back, I guess. Yes, this makes sense. Okay, let me think. This might just be okay for now. This is just C++. Yes. Oh, I thought you were joking about Unreal, I'll be honest. Whenever bodies go to rest, they become static with infinite mass till something pushes them hard enough, yeah. You have hundreds of rigid bodies because when they come to rest, you can skip collision detection until they're awakened, yeah. Well, amongst each other, right? Because you're still... Other things could collide with that rigid body, right? But then it becomes a me to them rather than a them back to me collision, and then it's just one collision to wake it up, and then both sides can impact each other. So I'm guessing the wall would want to push back against the player as much as the player's pushing back at the wall or whatever, right? Counting for mass. That's what these guys do. They don't weigh much, I guess. But if I make my mass really small, they can push me around like crazy. That's a bit little. It's not much. 8. You gonna walk into me? Or if I spawn more of you? Yeah, you can see I lowered my mass. They're pushing me like crazy and I can't... Well, the physics actually breaks a bit when it's that low, I'll be honest, but... If I make myself super heavy... They have, like, no impact on me, relatively. There's more scenarios to wake than just a velocity threshold. Oh, yeah. What do I normally weigh? Like, 40 or something. Doesn't matter. 50, I guess. Oh, this is movement speed. Whee! Hang on. The optimization is that mainly that 2 resting objects don't have to test for collisions. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, the rockets at least should be testing for distance to camera center, I should think. I think the revolver should have a little bit more zoom. So whatever the revolver's doing needs to be a bit stronger. Shotgun. I guess the shotgun weighs a lot more than the revolver, so maybe mass should take a little bit less into account. Yeah, hang on a moment, weapons system. So mass should be a little bit less important, I think. Well, it's not actually terribly important already. Hang on a moment. I think maybe damage should be a part of this equation. Base damage multiplied by, like... If it's 1 for SMG, this should be, like... divided by, like, 30. I think I was already dividing by damage in one of these, right? Damage, shake. Damage divided by 40. That's pretty close to my old assumption. Just to... Well, this might be a little bit much. Hello, frame dropper. That's where the concept of contact graphs and islands comes in. So you can basically say, like, these things are close by and these things aren't, or what? Can you give me a quick summary of how to do something similar? Make a new file. Let's start there. No, it depends how similar you want to be. I mean, you can use LibDonut. That's the framework I'm using to help me draw to the screen. But otherwise, this is basically all from scratch. There's how do I summarize like 6 years of programming? Like just get started, get cracking on with it. draw a triangle on the screen, and then draw a texture, and then make it so the texture changes color when you click on it, and then make it so it follows the mouse, and then make 2 things on the screen, and then make the 2 things change color when they collide, and then that sort of thing. You know? That's how it is. I think the calculation here is not strong enough for my revolver. Maybe I just need like a little bit more. Maybe I should separate each of these things, actually. Hang on. Let's do this. Just, it doesn't really matter. So let's say camera shake mass addition. Shake mass addition. Const auto shake mass addition equals this. And now bullet speed, shake bullet speed addition. Velocity multiplier, fine. Then we'll have the shake damage addition. And we can just have a look. Let's auto shake damage addition. And then I guess we don't need these brackets. Then what we could say, I mean, maybe I should just make this tweakable. We're not using Raylib, no. The name of the tool, C++. LibDonut. Look in the description. It's a nice framework. It's I think in this project I'm mostly using it as a wrapper around SDL2 and OpenGL. I think SDL2 is mostly being used for like input and making a window, and then OpenGL for doing graphical stuff. So you could also do that stuff yourself if you like. That's up to you. Yeah, README would be nice. Anyway, I'm thinking I might just want to put these things in some sliders so I can like mess around with them. So let's see. Camera offset, add camera shake. I might have a separate camera shake thing now. I think there's time. Just pop this stuff in here. It's clearly its own thing by now. And then I'll have some of these things separated out, so we can have some float, well, just pop these in here. Oops. Multiplier equals, and then what was it? 440, 25, and 40. Well, this is not a multiplier, this is a divider. Multiplier, divider. Divisor? Is it divisor? I guess. My game overview. What do you mean by that? What is a game overview? Game overview. This will be camera shake. What was it? Oh, I want to put this in the registry. How hard is it to learn something like this? It's not hard, it just takes a long time. Some parts are hard. Some parts are hard. But I mean, if you're already good at like maths and stuff, maybe they're not so hard. But I was never particularly good at maths, so I find them a little harder. If that makes sense. Like learning. This project is basically how I learned about like what you might consider really basic maths. Like everything to do with sines and cosines and tangents and intersections and mixings and all sorts of formulas and all that crap. Like I don't use this in my daily life, so this was a good project for that. Solid foundation. You can also build the foundation while you work. Like I'd still say I'm no expert by any means, but doing the project has made me better than if I hadn't, if that makes sense. Like I can at least look at these websites that you talk about and look at the separating axis theorem and actually sort of get it. Like I know it's a sort of a tutorial that describes it, but I can look at this and sort of understand what it's getting at. Also, having poked some of these things, like even learning about like matrices and vectors and all this stuff, you don't touch this in normal work. Or at least I don't. It's very game development focused, very maths focused, science. So I wouldn't feel put off if you don't already know that stuff. I think it's a good way to learn it as well. I can show you the game in a bit. It won't run right now because I'm making it, but when it's ready, I can show you. Let's see, camera offset. Shake. So we're going to replace a camera shake in there. You don't need to do that. Maybe not. Sometimes I do this, and sometimes I don't. Weird. Any new names and ideas in chat? Oh yeah, chat. If you know a name Donut can use for his engine that's not LibDonut, please let him know. He'll be very happy. He's not allowed to use LibDonut because NVIDIA exists, apparently. Systems manager. So you can be the camera offset. And then we'll also say this can be our camera shake. Very nice. Camera shake, bam. And then bam, bam. Oh, whoops. This thing, camera shake, bam. Dop, dop, dop. Oi, oi, oi. F. Highlight these, please. Just like that. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Bam. And you, just like that. Nice and easy. Playing it. Yeah, you'll have to give me a minute. I'm working. Yeah, it'll come. Take your time. It'll happen. I just want to be able to modify these things. Let's see. We'll just have a float for one of these things, I think. 1, 2, 3. And you can be bum bum bum, bum bum bum, bum. Oops, bum bum. And you can be the divisor, multiplier, whatever. Let's see. Let's just say it's between 1 and 1,000 for the mass. And then, oh, maybe 1 and 750, I don't know. Bullet speed can be 1 in 100, and shake can be 0 to 100 as well, why not? And then that just gives us something we can fuck around with in-game. So instead of directly using them here, we can get the... well, camera shake. I'll pop this here. Const auto ref, camera shake. I hope you guys can hear the music. And then we'll just say... oh, that's not quite what I wanted. Ah, fuck it. Something like this. Divisor. Divisor. Easy game. Alright, go. Not an engine. Yeah, LibDonut's thing is not an engine. It's a... experience. Oh, I guess not const. We talked about this earlier. Hello, Elliot, by the way. What's wrong? Can I convert this to const? Add camera shake. Sorry, do you need to go again? I do. Library, framework, module collection, whatever. LFMCW lib. And then you can say, this is an acronym for library, framework, module, collection, whatever. Oh, I should default it to these values, shouldn't I? That would be smart. Let's see. So instead of starting them off at 0, I mean, obviously you should be 0. You can be 0. Well, actually, you can be camera shake. You should probably now be extracted. So let's do this. Bam, 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 bam. Camera shake. Dot whatever. Oh, maybe not const. Auto. Camera shake is this. And then I'll default this stuff to camera shake dot that. What's wrong, little guy? Some of you are not happy. You are not. You can be 0. That's okay. All right. This is now good. Will I monetize this? I'll probably sell it, but in the distant future. Better to store a multiplier that's the reciprocal of the divisor, so you can do multiplication. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I need to work that out in a moment. I just wanted to have something going. I also called them all global camera shake multiplier. I should probably fix that. Bam bam. This. Shake. Shake shake. Something like this. Have I made games before? Yeah, but I've not finished really. I've been making games for a long time, but just not like this. Like when I was younger, I used to make stuff in Game Maker all the time. In uni, I made a mini golf game as my final year project. So yeah, now we can modify all of these as we like. So we can say that let's say the mass addition divisor is much lower. So now the mass of the weapon impacts it a lot less, how much screen shake it gets, or likewise, we can say it matters a lot. That's the... Actually, that's surprising. That isn't doing what I thought it would. Bullet speed? Oh, it's a divisor. Is this working? Camera bullet speed. Oh wait, hang on. Is this... No, this should be working. Maybe we should be using the reciprocal. How do I calculate the reciprocal back into a multiple? I'd need to get like an example of what I'm passing in, right? 1 over x. Oh, 1 divided. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me just calculate that quickly. So calc 1 divided by 440 is 0.002. 0.002. That's no wonder that doesn't make a difference. 1 divided by 25 is 0.04. F 40 divided by 1. 40. Crazy. 1 divided by 40 is 0.025. I could have told you that. And then this is now actually a multiplier. Wow. Multiplier. Markiplier. And then we go here. Oh, this stuff, of course. Fuck's sake. That, and then sort of divide, obviously, we'll want a multiply. This thing dot this thing dot this. Camera shake. You're a ref, right? And then in game. You're a ref, aren't you? Camera shake ref. Okay, so that should work. I mean, this now needs to change, obviously. So 0 to 2, fine. 0 to 7.5, this can be up to 0.01, maybe 0.1. I don't know. You can be 0.1, 0.1, maybe. I don't know. Let's shake this one as well. You get to be 1. Why not? Oh, sorry. Am I working in a studio? No, I don't. I don't do game development at work. This is very different. Well, it's not that different. I do embedded stuff, so I fuck around with like chips. I'm still using C++, but it just references the target value's direction. You don't need the conversion. Your slider floats can just reference the target value's direction. Oh, that's right, because we've actually got floats here for the first time. It actually matches, doesn't it? We don't need this weird thing. Yeah, this can just be this, and then we don't need this if crap, do we? That's nice. You are in here. Okay, that can be in there too. Are you really called camera shake global multiplier? How about just shake global multiplier maybe? Oh shit, did F2 worked? Do you see that? Crazy. Divisor. Oh, you're called divisor now. Let's see. Very cool camera. Let's see. You don't need... What have I done? Oh, you're all still called if, aren't you? Let's fix that. And then you as well. I've really fucked this up, haven't I? You want one of these, so do you. Very nice. And then you want to be like this. Screen shake intensity. Okay. And then you are no longer part of this world. That's fine. Now what? Crazy F2 actually worked. Yeah, it's not been working lately absolutely at all. It's crazy. Bam, 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 bam. Wow, what a cleanup, huh? You can even put them in their own little special hidey hole. You can hide it. Alright, let's give that a go. Hey Mystic, how are you doing? Very nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I think I did all those static floats just because I'm used to this stuff not quite doing what I want. Like having to slightly modify something to pass into ImGui, but obviously we do it here with the level generator and stuff, right? Let's see. Probably should put like the wall hitting effect in here. Hey, look, you can see this. Oh, you can't see shit, can you? Hang on. You can see the screen shake intensity slider at the top change as it... Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's kind of sick, isn't it? No, I think it's cool. You're doing as good as expected. Cool. That's nice. Maybe 2 is a bit much, yeah. That's really neat. Let's see. So, mass currently doesn't make like any effect. Now it does. Very nice. Yeah, I've been working on screen shake today. Actually, maybe whatever we've got here is fine. Maybe make mass a little smaller. A little smaller. About 0. No effect. Yeah, this is really nice. This is what ImGui is perfect for. The GUI still says divisor. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what it's all about. Just being able to like just shoot it and tweak it a little bit. I do need the ability to like turn off like walls and stuff so I can actually see what the weapon's doing. Then again, this stuff might be considered like polish. Maybe I shouldn't really touch this stuff for now. Maybe the bullet speed matter a little bit more, maybe. But then suddenly guns like the sniper rifle feel like they're going really far, don't they? Holy shit. That is a bit much, maybe. Yeah, I don't know about that one. It might take a minute to polish this stuff. I don't know what you think. Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe the guns should just have like a expected screen shake value on them somehow. Then again, it just feels like something you should be able to calculate, right? It's crazy. Push base velocity, that's something else. Don't remember what that is. Damage addition. Kind of sick, right? All right. This looks okay. All right, these fucking maths nerds out there, like, look, this is how rocket launchers are meant to work, aren't they? They're not meant to have any knockback at all, right? But the explosion does. Does this make the maths people happy? That the rocket launcher with a big hole in the back of it doesn't cause screen shake when you shoot it, just when you when it hits something. Because IMO, this is not like, it still shake. They shake you like crazy. Well, yeah, I should make maybe the robot lady shake. But yeah, if I increase the mass modifier like to this, actually, this isn't doing a ton. Yeah, you see it just how values just suddenly massively make a difference. Smoke does need to come out the back. That's true. Let's stop fucking around with this. It doesn't massively matter. We can do this whenever. I'm gonna make the screen shake multiplier by default like half, so it doesn't give me like a headache while we're developing. What was I gonna say? Distance. Explosion distance. In our physics engine, when we are exploding, this number should be multiplied by the distance to the center, which should be pretty easy to calculate. If I don't already have the screen center, I can easily get that here. Local player? No, okay. Maybe in collision system. Local player, center. We don't. Okay, that's fine. I can just get it in here then. So I'll say const auto screen cent. Okay, forgot how to type for a second. Registry. Whoops. Get. Oi oi. Local player dot. Local. Oh, context dot get. Sorry, registry dot ctx dot get local player. What's your LOC? What is LOC? Viewport center. Wait, viewport center or view center? View center? Or camera? I feel like it's view center, maybe. Playable size center. Oh yeah, this is like a size thing. Maybe you should be const. Good question. So screen center. So this is in world coordinates? Question mark. Or what? What were you again? I think it is. I think this is in world coordinate, because you see here we're multiplying it by tile size to get something in 16 with pixels. So I'm guessing view center is actually the literal coordinates of the center of the screen. Actually, I can test that. In game we have coordinates. What is it? Divisor. I can fix this before you get angry. don't remember what this is. How much you push each other by. Okay. Something like this. Maybe just bullet speed multiplier. Okay, bullet speed multiplier, bullet speed multiplier, fine. What was I thinking? Oh, somewhere in here I'm showing the player's position, right? Center? Oh, local player.viewCenter.x.y. Perfect. Okay, this is pretty easy then. When we're spawning an explosion, we know where the screen center is, and we know where we're spawning the explosion. Recoilless rifles trick you so bad because there's a limit on how often you're allowed to practice firing them in peacetime to prevent brain damage. Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. How many lines of code? I don't know. Is that a metric that people care about? Lots. 10 lines of code. The ideal lines of code is 0. You just imagine the game. Let's see. Distance to screen center is length from transform dot. It doesn't have to be fancy. We can just do transform dot position to the screen center. Now, length. Are you normalized or not? Sorry, transform dot position screen center. You are a vec2, right? And you are a vec3? Yeah. Let's say vec2. Wow, Clang D. Come on. It's a bad metric, but it's interesting. For fun and stuff. Okay, I have no idea how many lines of code there are. Absolutely no idea. Maybe you need X, Y. What am I doing? I'm doing length. Or is it distance? I thought it was length. Or is length of a single thing, right? There's a different way to calculate. You just do one minus the other. I'm being stupid, sorry. Time to the position, minus screen center, and then maybe I normalize that. Oh, wait, not normalize, abs. Abs it. Is that correct? Program called clock that can count it for you. I don't want that. I have a distance to, or like line of sight, don't I? I have something like this. Distance. Distance? I'm doing this stuff. All distance, view distance is this. And then you're getting used here. Target is lerp player position plus this. That's not it. I think it was in enemy behavior. You guys have a perception. And then no lone line of sight. It's just distance 2. Returns the squared distance between P0 and P1. I think that's it. It's just distance 2. That's what I needed to use, because it's 2 things. Oh, alright. Why was I doing that? Why was I doing this? Oh, here we go. Distance 2. How about now, lad? That's not it. Oh, wait, distance 2 doesn't exist? Are you a maths thing? It's a donut aliased thing. Weird, you should have it in here. You have a straight equals. Ah, it's too late for this, isn't it? Hello, Max. What on earth have I done? Normally, distance 2... God, Clang D is having a terrible time. You can pass in vec3s. It's squared distance. Is that what you want? No. Well, I thought just regular distance would work, I'll be honest. I thought you could just do this. But this doesn't seem to be happy with me. And then I thought, oh, I can do this minus the other and then abs it. But then I thought there was a shorthand for that. Why do I normally do the squared distance? I basically... Hello, it's going well, thank you. How are you? Position is Vec 3. It can be. I was casting it as Vec 2. Yeah. I'm casting it, though. Or was I not? Oh, I was casting it last time I wrote this. Hang on a moment. I need to put that back. Vec 2. Oh, wait, why didn't this work earlier? Okay, I don't care. It just didn't. Let's say, distance, let's say, I don't exactly know how I want this to work, but I want it to increase to maximum strength at the when the explosion is on the center of the screen, and then reduce towards the edge. So I have a number basically ranging from screen height, screen like half height, like that. I don't know if it needs to be rectangular. It could just be a square away. Like, I think maybe that's okay. So I think just a simple distance, and then I'm going to say that maybe I can do 6 if it's less than a certain amount. Otherwise, we just don't bother. Does that make sense? No. So let's pretend that our distance here... Actually, I can even put like a fucking breakpoint in. We can see what kind of numbers we're dealing with. So this should be like 4. I don't know, 3. 3.5. So at this point, I should expect it to be not that much different to a full explosion, but like maybe half as strong or whatever. Maybe a third as strong. But then off the side of the screen, so if I put this all the way over there, this number is now... Oh, your screen's covered. This number is now 12, so I'd expect it to be a lot weaker. So I think I might even just be able to do 10... This divided by 10? 10 divided by this? Something like that. What makes sense? 10 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 10 is 0.3. Yeah, am I being dumb? 12 divided by 10, 1.2. 0.8. What's a sensible way to do this calculation? I basically want to say... Our friend's strength over distance again. Yeah. Where did I do this before? Was it with the XP stuff? Was that in culling system? I was thinking like we could use like a nice function for this, I guess, right? Like a little bar that we can change, like a POW. It could be, I mean, it could be power. Like it could be very strong in the middle and then it really quickly wears off outside a certain range. Strength over POW. Yeah, yeah. That sounds familiar. Where was it not culling system? Was it linear motion? Linear motion? Movement? What was it called? Magnetic. Base magnetic strength. We got all this crap. Collision system. Oh, here we go. Yeah. We basically just want this. That is an old friend. It's even in the same file, right? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's collision system. Alright, so it's this crap. Some strength divided by power distance, and then you said 2 is like common for this because it's squaring, I guess. Power. Let's see. Physics system. Distance is this, and then we'll say const auto screen shake intensity equals, and then we'll say some, I don't know, 1. I'll come up with something better. Maybe I'll call it const auto explosion base power equals 1. So it'll be explosion base power divided by POW, and we'll take distance to center, and then we'll do strength of 2, and then we'll pass this in. Now, is this what I want? I guess we'll find out. What language am I coding with? This is C++. This is the C++. Whoa. Common for stuff with light attenuation. Yeah, this is a bit strong, maybe. It scales very fast. This is not quite it. So maybe I want to adjust these things a little bit, right? Maybe I say the base power instead of being... Well, maybe 1's okay. But maybe I change the power to... Actually, it still needs to be 2, right? Wait, why does it take a float? Is this not how many times you multiply it by itself? That's what power is, right? Like 2 to the power of 2. Can you do 2 to the power of 2.5? Like, how does that work? Yeah, I guess you can, right? You multiply it by itself twice and a half. I'd never thought about that. Anyway, if I change... I want to change the curve here. How would I do that? 1 divided by power, distance to screen center, 2. So what I could do is I can obviously just try changing the base power to 0.5 and changing the power to 3 or something. This might make it bonkers strong in the middle, but then a little normal in the middle. I don't know. This is where I experiment, I guess. Also, maybe it shouldn't be based on the distance to the screen center, but based to the player or something? Yeah, this falls off very quick. This can't be right. We need some more numbers to tweak here. And I'm wondering if instead of being based on the transform bot position, it should be... Again, if it's a bit of a softer ring, I think actually screen center should be fine. Because it's the camera that's shaking. This special weird camera. The music end, holy shit. That was a long album. Holy shit, didn't think I was streaming for that long. Okay. Hey, Desmos. I put on the block. Ah, new blue archives shit later. Awesome. Oh, here we go. K is 1, C is 1. Want to clamp it? Yeah, I was thinking about clamping. Just seeing how insane it's like spikes at the bottom. Okay, and we'll just clamp it. Clamp. Well, I don't know if I need a minimum. Minimum could just be 0, I guess. So it's min, max, and then the value, right? 0 and max, let's say, is 2. Let's see. So if I just make... What is K? K is what I'm dividing it by, so this can be the multiplier. And then C is the curve. Oh. So I want the curve to be... If I look... you can't see what I'm looking at, but if I'm looking at this chart here you sent me... We could try a sort of smooth curve with a cap. So if we make this power like a really big number like 10, so it will almost always be our cap, which can be 0.1 or 0. What was it, 75? Wait, hang on, this is what power, that's not right. 2, 0.75. So usually we'll be in our cap, but as you sort of get towards the mid-range, actually, power of 1 doesn't make an awful lot of sense. Maybe make you 2. 1.5 maybe. C is exponent. This bit, right? You've applied for computer science and then you learn C++. You're wondering if you can master it at uni. Does it teach enough to be pro? Depends on the course. If you're on a C++ course, I should bloody hope that they're teaching you enough to take it as a professional career. It really depends on how good the course is. You'd want to research the university and get reviews on it and stuff. Okay, let's see. This wants to be maybe a little bit higher. Maybe we clamp it more at like 1.f. Make this more like a 7. Yeah, I mean, uni's a good place to start. I'd recommend it. If you like academics, or if you don't. It's nice to have a course that basically sets it all out for you, right? The enemies should definitely be using this algorithm too. Like, it's nice to have like a set plan on like what to do and how to improve, right? It falls off pretty quick, doesn't it? But maybe this is good. Like, if in reality, if you shoot a rocket this close to yourself, you'll take a ton of damage. But I do think maybe instead of screen center, it should be based on distance to the player. I don't really know. It could be based on distance to a radius around the middle of the screen. Exponent 0.5. Sure. That's a more of like a smooth curve, and then maybe I want to increase the base power a twee bit. Computer science is a good degree in general. Even if you don't do computing, it's a good thing to have in your CV. It's perceived, at least by like non-programmers, as being pretty tricky. Raises the tail and makes it a bit flatter. Yeah, on the graph it went from, I can't really do this with my arm, but it went like I can't do it. It's a little too flat, so maybe we can try 0.75. How long have I been developing with C++? Well, since uni, funnily enough. So, 10 years or something? The enemy AI, you mean? I don't want to go into a super amount of detail, but essentially they're a state system. So the enemy has... I can show you briefly, actually. I'm a little tired, so maybe this will be easy. I have this structure here called the enemy behavior component. It has all sorts of knobs and dials, which basically just allow it to feel a bit more natural. There's a little bit more randomness or reasoning behind why they might make certain choices. Maybe certain enemies will see you from further away, or they're more aggressive, or some of these things I haven't put in yet, mind you, but some enemies, maybe are more cowardly, maybe they're more likely to go behind cover. That would all be in here as well. But basically, I just have some states: idle, alert, moving to target, shooting target. It's quite basic, right? And in my enemy system, I'm really happy with this implementation, by the way. As I'm going through my enemy system, I look for every enemy that has a behavior. I check to see if they want to make a decision. So I'm not doing this literally every tick. I'm doing this every how smart they are. Half a second, 0.25 seconds, 1 second. The smarter they are, the more often they might make choices. It's a dial you can change. I call it thinking time, because it's their thinking time. I execute their current state, which is if they're idle, they have random pathing. If they're shooting you, they will shoot you or move around. Pretty normal stuff. They'll move towards their targets. Maybe they're using A star. Maybe they're randomly moving. They're moving line of sight. Nice and abstract. Once they've executed their state, they think about changing it. So if they're an idle, they'll check to see if they've spotted you. They'll go alert. If they're alerted, they might move to you. They might shoot. All of these percentages could be modified by how aggressive they are. So if the enemy's more likely to run away, they're less likely to shoot you. If you are further away, they're more likely to run at you than shoot you. There's all sorts of tweaking, but it's basically just a state machine. If they want to change, they change states, and that's it. It's nice and easy, yeah? He wants to see its structure. I'm genuinely really proud of this. The way I originally wrote this was a lot more spaghetti because I sort of wrote it as I went along. And then at some point I just took like a day or two off stream and just completely restructured it. I sat down, I even drew a fucking graph to help me understand how I wanted it to be. Because now it's simple. This file used to be a lot more complicated. There was code in here to do with like actual like data rather than just state. Like I was saying, I was passing around like actual positions and stuff more than just here. I was calculating things where I shouldn't be, and it started to get to the point where things were interacting in a way they shouldn't be. So now having this nice abstract system is so much better. It's nice. Good luck on the project. Thanks, dude. You too. Good luck with the Lua stuff. I'm using Windows. I have a Mac. I don't know where it is. Yeah, I've got a Mac. Maybe I could charge it and use it to do game dev on holiday. I always say that and then I never do it. Yeah. Here's my Mac. I've actually written early on. I wrote a fair amount of the game on Mac. It's multi-platform. But I've got this. I'm streaming right now on this PC, so you know, no point, right? I could charge it. Do I want to take a Mac with me? Not really. I don't want to deal with this, and I don't want to lose it. Yeah, I've also programmed this on my Steam Deck, so it's worked on Linux. It's nice. Anyway, explosion. The enemies should also use this same multiplier. So I'm thinking I should start extracting some of this crap. So instead of just add the least Mac-looking map you've seen. I've shown you my Mac before, right? Also, they're lovely pieces of hardware. You can say what you want about Foxconn and Apple, but like they are making like aluminium milled machines. Like these are nice things. Especially these, like this is an M2 or an M3. It is proper nice hardware. Of course it's silly, it's only got a couple of ports. There's problems with it. My actual problem is if I leave it offline for too long, it forgets what the time is, and I have to run a bunch of console commands to fix it, which is utterly ridiculous for something this price. But, it's like a Nintendo DS. Like, you can... It's still got fucking charge! I've not plugged this in forever. Like, it's insane. This thing could genuinely do... When I was working on Mac, which I've done a good few years of Mac work, you could... Oh, this has still got half charge! That's incredible! How old is it? It's not that old. A couple of years old. I got it when I lost my last job because I thought I was going to need one. I bought this because I used to be an iOS and Android developer, right? And you have to have a Mac to do... I'll charge this, actually. You have to have a Mac to do iOS development, so that's why I bought it. I got it refurbished. Pretty big discount from Apple. I got a decent one. This thing, you can run a bunch of really heavy IDEs all day with emulator, like phone emulators, simulators, doing, you know, compiling, running, debugging, run the whole day on like half a charge, quarter of a charge. It's insane. My current work, like Lenovo Windows laptop, dies in about half an hour. And it's slow as balls, and the fan is insane. This thing, I don't think I've ever heard the fan on it. It's a proper good piece of tech. It's a shame you can't install whatever OS you want on it. macOS is fine, honestly. But just, I would, you know, if I could play games on it, that would be pretty cool. Not that it's... There's going to be a lot of M3 Mac games, but, you know. You used to be able to dual boot Linux on these things, and they were actually quite useful. I have a lot of Windows software that won't work on it, of course. Anyway, add camera shake. So I'm going to add a little bit more, make this a little bit more complicated. Void, add distance, add camera shake based on distance. So you will pass in a base intensity, a distance, your float, right? Min, max. Do I need to do clamping? Float. Base intensity. Distance. Let's say distance base. Float min, float max. Min intensity, max intensity. What should I say? What was C? Exponent. This can just do all this stuff. So I just wanted to save this because I'll probably also have an explosion. Void add explosion. Camera shake. And then at this point, I'll just pass in distance. So this will do add camera shake. Yeah, add camera shake. 10 distance, transform position, screen center. I could even calculate screen center. I don't know if I want to do that. The Lenovo laptop dying that fast says more about Windows. It says more about the company's security scanner, which is insane. It runs so often, and it is really, really slow. I wonder how many, like, tens of millions of euros they've wasted on this shit. Hundreds of millions of euros on fucking security. Windows machines. One of the nice things about Macs at work is they never have security on them, so they normally run about as fast as they can. Sounds like a jet engine. Oh, it doesn't sound like a jet engine. Yeah, it's really a Windows thing, and it loves to power on in my bag and turn into a small nuclear inferno. Get really hot and die, and it will blue screen when I open it again. It's a really piece of tech. And I got so used to using multi-monitor on Mac that the moment I tried to do it on Windows and I realized that it doesn't actually remember which monitor you had stuff on, and I had to switch back to using Windows. Ugh. Aye. Mac has some nice stuff. Terrible stuff as well. Why is it so hard to turn off Mouse Excel? Oh well, distance, transform screen center. Yeah, we'll just calculate it. We'll pass that in. Actually, you don't even need distance. Maybe I could do that in here. So I'll just say back to explosion position, back to screen center. I can even just pass in registry. Nah, this is fine. So now, when I want to add the camera shake, I can actually say add did I say viewing? Explosion camera shake. Yeah. Back to transform dot position. Screen center. Now things become a little bit more normalized. Get rid of all of this. And where's the other place we're doing the explosion? You I'll come to in a second. Probably in here, right? Shake. I think it's for every explosion, right? It's somewhere in here. This thing. So instead of for every explosion to create, I'll just do it in here. Screen center is... Do you have local player? Nope. Screen center is this. Whee! Nice and easy. It was the worst time I tried to spin up in the middle of a lecture and you had no way of making it stop. I find that if you turn battery saver on these things, they actually do usually listen to that, and it usually helps. But that being said, there's all sorts of tweaks you could do on Windows to try and throttle things. But there's such a hassle to access. I don't know why. Anyway, screen shape. Add shake? What was it? Add camera shake. I'm not actually using this at all. Might save you from Windows Update. Holding down the power button until it suffocates might help. Might. It's gonna be. We can add bullet destroy camera shake. Add bullet destroy camera shake. I guess this could also be like that. So what do we want? We want the bullet. We just pass in the bullet, maybe. Bullet velocity and bullet damage. Oh, what was it? Bullet speed. Damage. So I want to multiply these things as well. So base power can be these two. Bullet damage. Micro slop. That could just be velocity. Come on, Clang D. There we go. And you can pass in this velocity count multiplier. Pass in the bullet damage. Position can be... The screen center can be... Do we have local player? It's a little easier, at least. Just to separate some of this crap out. So add camera shake and pass in the same thing. Realistically speaking, I think bullets all do damage. So all bullets, bullet type, damage. I can get rid of this if const auto damage is damage. Maybe. Putting some of this on. Hello, Exploit. Have a cookie. Thanks, buddy. Engage with your audience. What does this mean, YouTube? Start a poll. Okay. Ask a question. Cats or dogs? Yes. No. I've done the thing. YouTube has had this fucking pop-up on my chat, but I don't know how long, saying like, engage with your audience. So there's your poll, youtube.com. Let's see how much interaction this gets. What does that look like? I've never seen a poll on YouTube. I can do one on Twitch too, maybe. Poll? Cat or dog? Cat, dog? No, you can't. Push poll. Cat or dog? Yes. No. Duration 1 minute. Let's see if Twitch and YouTube have any difference. Interesting that I have multiple ways to have polls now. I used to have to do this on a separate website. Now this needs to probably be extracted too. I don't really like this being in here. Let's add weapon. Weapon, shoot, camera, shake. It's cats. You didn't vote in the poll, Donut. It has 0 votes. How do I end the poll? I'll end the poll. There you go. I'll end the poll on both websites. So Twitch voted 0 and 0, it says. You chose yes. It says no one voted. And then YouTube doesn't tell me the results. And the notification hasn't gone away. Switch your live... Schedule live to switch to members only. I won't do that. So 2 people voted yes for you. Great, they haven't managed to get this working. I see this. Interesting. Oh, now YouTube's showing it. 3 votes, yes. Did everyone vote yes on cats? Or yes on yes? Maybe I should just pass in the fucking registry to this thing. So we don't want weapon data. Is this above me? Where is this in this file? Is this below you? No, I mean I should put this at the bottom. Yes, great. Velocity multiplier. Oh, I guess I can pass in the weapon info. Where's velocity multiplier? I don't think I need that. You've solved the poll with facts and logic. Thank you. Now we just need to compile once for it to think about what it's done. There we go. Undefined type weapon data. Oh, hang on. This is from data. You don't have access to data here. Alright, maybe I shouldn't have this in here. Maybe it's fine where it was. Alright, goodbye. Phew, saved myself something. You can make stream overlays in HTML and link it to OBS. I have no idea. I don't use a lot of overlays. This thing is just some random 1 pixel black image I had on my desktop that, because it's 1 pixel, it has like bilinear filtering applied to the edges that makes it look like it's faded. There you go. I used to have an overlay like a long time ago, and I made that one in MS Paint. It might have been Photoshop. What's wrong, little guy? You also have random 1 pixel images on your desktop. You do, right? It's just nice to have. Everyone uses Streamlabs these days. I hope not. Streamlabs is like an evil corporation that stole an open source project and tried reselling it. I do use them for the follow notifications though, because that was originally what they were for. They used to use something before that even, and then there was nothing before that one. There was a different like donation system a while ago. You shouldn't use Streamlabs though, you should use OBS. See how the bullet now, the impact effect you get, double bullet, scales with distance now. I feel like it shouldn't be distance to center, but it should be distance to distance from center. What a lore drop. I can't believe they still exist. Honestly, I thought people knew. Instead of distance to screen center, can I say... Can I grow screen center somehow? Does that make sense? Distance to a rectangle. Distance to a circle. Distance to a radius. A point on a circle. We have like ray intersecting circle, right? I don't know what you're asking for. I'm basically thinking, like, right now, this is the game. In the very, like, middle of the screen, it has insane, like, shake. And then here it's less insane. Here it's more normal. Here it's more normal. We could adjust the curve, but I was just thinking maybe instead of checking for the literal middle pixel of the screen, we can check for, like, how close the explosion was to a center circle of the screen. I mean, I could have the curve go like that, and then the clamp basically does that. Yeah, I guess. I just need to fuck with the algorithm a bit more, maybe. To make it hit that clamp a bit sooner. Right? And to make it hit the clamp sooner, you change the base power? Oh, you changed this as well. Hang on, you linked this. Oh, no, I don't have it in my history anymore. Where is it? Desmos, I found it. Imagine a line at y equals 1. Yeah, okay. So I just want to massively increase the clamp. Oh, 0 to 1. Well, that's not quite what I want. I want this number to be smaller, I guess. So 0.25 maybe. Maybe 0.5. Well, that's not really much going on at 0.25. That's why 0.5, yeah. Maybe something like this. And then we can clamp the weapon shake at base power, actually. Divide by 10. The clamp arcs are in the wrong order. What? The fuck? Why was this working? Value min max. That's insane. Hey Mario. Interesting. I just hope with this power we don't somehow spike it so high it like underflows or something. I guess it wouldn't massively matter. You're working on screen shake. You can actually see the intensity here. Too intense. Well, yeah, I'm working on it. It's in progress. There is a setting. There is a setting. You can increase it like this, and also turn it off. Right, turning it off does not work. Oh no, it's damage multiplier. Okay, hang on, I changed the wrong thing. This is the multiplier. I'll just turn it off, yeah. What's the max it can go? There's no max. Let's just set it to a silly amount. Was this not silly? Looks pretty silly. I think making it always settle in the same amount of time is nice, right? Like even if it's just some stupid number, it still settles in like a second. Whoa. When you fire like the fucking nuclear bomb. Yeah. Oh, different FPS limits. As expected. This is 30 FPS, by the way. And then likewise at 480. I think this is not bad, huh? It should be interpolated decently well. Yeah, the off-screen explosions are kind of cool, right? Like a little controller support, like this. Okay, it broke at some point, but like it does have some form of support. It just doesn't. The D-pad works okay, actually. You have no way of moving the cursor. That needs to be done. But it feels pretty good. The control stick doesn't work. There's something drifting when it's plugged in. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, I will. I think this game would be pretty fun with the controller. Increase the dead zone. Yeah. It's not something I'm worrying about right now. But yeah, I will. And I'll make it so, like, I think the right stick would just spin the thing around like this. I don't know if I'd add auto-aim or anything like that. We'll have to see if I care. Input option managers. Okay. I don't know. Poor donut. Alright, anyway, I'm thinking this is like an okay time to stop. What was there something I forgot about the camera shake that I like I massively care about that's not polish? I was kind of thinking in was it collision system? Was it weapon system? One bullet. We like check to see if it would collide. Yeah. So I can just change this. Don't know if there's a really fancy way to do this, but I just want it so the dagger doesn't move out the wall. Game should be good to be published this weekend then. I mean, I won't be at my desk, but you know, sure, why not? You can publish it. I'll just send you the source code. You'll link it up to my like bank account and stuff, right? I would say it is becoming more like a game every day. Adding the screen shake was a really nice touch today. I thought that would be fun, little creative project. Look at this. Run around, I can spawn like a bunch of enemies. Shoot them, they'll spawn XP, screen shakes. Imagine if there's like sound and stuff. It's nowhere near being published, he's taking the piss. There's no gameplay. This is fun, but this is not. This is nothing more than like a tech demo right now, I'd say. Hang on, let's get the good gun. There's no sound effects. Yeah, there's no sound effects. The game runs like shit unless it's in roll with deb info. Or released, I guess. It only takes 30 seconds to compile or something, which is crazy. Hamrock. It's a nice sniper rifle, isn't it? I thought it looked alright. Overriding O2 with OD. Oh dear. Now people use Streamlabs for stream overlays. Who have you been talking to? You talking to other streamers? 30 seconds is very high. Our work project absolutely does not compile in 40 seconds. I go 45 seconds. I can make it full screen. I just asked Chris if she's still around. He's playing another League game, but I might stop and just chillax to the max. Toggle full screen for me. Did it take longer or less time? The work thing takes like fucking 20 minutes to compile from scratch. Even longer if you consider having to recompile the fucking all the dev containers and stuff. I spawned like a million enemies. Oh shit, I forgot the enemy's guns shooting you will cause the screen to shake too. This is actually quite intense. This is with half, by the way. Half screen shake. Holy shit, there's so many fucking enemies. I need to go off the fucking screen. I need to tunnel. I need to escape. Here's a damage indicator. Good thing there's a clamp, but it is additive. There's no... Oh god. Alright, hang on, we need the fucking flamethrower, dude. Fucking sort some of these guys out. It's a lot harder to see what's going on with the screen shake, isn't it? Looks like I'm swimming, almost, doesn't it? Shotgun, go crazy. Actually, sniper rifle is what we want, right? This should be killing like 3 of them at a time or something. This is what I get for giving the enemies like predictable aim, like predicted aim, by the way. They have the ability to shoot like where you're running to. You see how like they're perfectly hitting me even though I'm moving. But if you go left and right and Toho stream, they miss you. With iframes, it would be bearable. I'm gonna be honest, this is not a realistic scenario in the game. Whatever we just did. There is iframes. We're just not taking damage right now. I have God mode on. Fucking Siege. A sharp. A star. Fuck. You know, the enemy AI is so old that they don't know that they can shoot through walls. They just sometimes shoot. But like, I could totally make it so, I could totally make it so if they don't have line of sight, they're more likely to shoot. Push him out of the way. Get out of here. You can see when the sniper's like hit, because it shakes when it finally hits another wall. You want to see what happened to the level, by the way? They like, all of this sort of dark green, they carved out with bullets. We're level 6, by the way. It doesn't do anything, but we are. It's really fun seeing this like screen shake intensity thing like jumping up and down, isn't it? I think I nerfed the flamethrower too much, by the way. It is not the killing machine that I wanted it to be. I'm gonna go crazy. I mean, it's more of like an afterburn thing. Like you could use it on a bunch of enemies to like debuff them and then walk away. Reminds you of Vampire Survivors. Oh, don't say that. It might right now because I've got God mode on and there's 50,000 enemies, but this is not realistic. Backwards. Is it backwards? You don't shoot in Vampire Survivors, right? It's like an auto battler. I find this funny. You can use screen shake to work out how big the level is. Like, even though I can't see the wall off the top here, if I shoot, I see the screen shake. I know there's like a wall up here. By the way, I made it so if your gun is poking through a wall, it destroys the wall. Like, it hits the wall first before... you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't go over the wall anymore. Should I make it so, like, it's the same with enemies, where if you shoot a sniper rifle like this, it actually hits the enemy? Because right now, your bullet actually goes over it. Like, it literally spawns at the end of your gun. Which I think, funny. Like, it's a long-range gun, and it's shit at close range. Because it's so big. I think Vampire Survivors, you are a bullet hell. In my game... it's not true. Alright, I'm not able to resize the window, but I'm going to move it back down here. At least. I can see what it looks like for a streamer to play my game. I guess they'd hide the mini-map, right? If you were to stream this. Fire particles going through the wall, kind of funny. I should fix that. Kind of fun. Oh yeah, I wanted to test the knife, because you see how the knife before was like going stopped? The knife actually can go through walls, technically, if it was long enough. Now it's not moving anymore, which is what I wanted. I can't believe that like I spent so long trying to come up with a good algorithm for like moving the bullet back if you're too close to a wall, just to realize that I can just spawn the bullet at your position. Looks a little janky with the flamethrower maybe, but like for the other guns, if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have noticed. But like for the other guns, they move so fast. Sometimes you're noticing that the bullet is spawning at your position and not at the tip of the gun, right? How would you know? It looks more janky with a knife. It looked very janky with a knife, because the knife position was suddenly at your feet. IMO, if you're against the wall and you shoot the flamethrower and the flames come out of your feet, it kind of looks like the flames are maybe bouncing back at you or something. It's not an effect I'm terribly worried about. The flamethrower still shoots flames. Looks nice. This is why I like running the game in Rel with dev info, right? It's just nice to see how the game would actually run on, in like reality, you know? I should also make it so it spawns some enemy tiers. They're a little different. So now the game will randomly spawn the other enemy. Man, I'm still using this, the enemy spawn positions. I thought I'd come up with a better idea. Great music, thank you. I did not make this. Yeah, look, we occasionally see the other enemy now. With the missing texture eyes. I thought this was a cool idea, like the missing texture eyes, at least. Oh, something I haven't done, but I tried once and I couldn't get like a good solution, is to make it so movement speed affects animation speed. Because this guy moves a bit too fast, a bit too slow for his animation speed. IMO. Are you gonna make bosses? Yeah. Oh. Dude, never mind, the rocket launcher is definitely the best AoE weapon. Why was I using anything else earlier? Let me just do this quickly. Ah, I see, I made the rooms big. Let's do this. Let's do tiny rooms. Like this. Levels should look tunnely. We'll make lots of tunnels. Like this. Look at how quick this shit generates, isn't that crazy? Dodge mechanic. Yeah, there'll be all sorts. There'll be all sorts. I thought I quite like the Eye of Cthulhu shield in Terraria, so I thought that could be a fun. I don't know if it would be an item or a character or an upgrade or what. I don't know about a dodge roll like Enter the Gungeon, but like maybe there could be a dodge roll character. I think I'm up for anything. Like it's my own project. It's as original as anyone else's clone. Dash slop. There's a lot of games with a dash, but I mean, that was always an idea. Dash slop. It looks nice, like it's smooth, right? This is why I wanted to program in this. This feels right. Oh, that rocket went through you. That's funny. I should increase the hitbox in some of these weapons. It's just too much fun to like dig, I'm gonna be honest. Whatever I've done here is awesome. And when you have it running at 480 FPS on a 360 Hz monitor, it like feels awesome. Like on stream this might look so-so, but like on my display this looks fucking sick as hell. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop there for now. I've done lots. Game is too fun. The main menu is fun too. Maybe I need to have like an after image on the main menu. Like Majora's Mask. Hi, hello. I'm just about to stop. Hello. You're very late. You are. I'm literally just about to stop. We did a screen shake today. See this? Like if the thing happens off farther away, it's small. If it happens close, it's big. Yeah. You're up, medic. Are you doing all right? Experience stuff looks cool. Imagine if it did something. One more hour. No, I'm going to bed. Did you guys like the stream? One more game. No. I'm going to be gone for like 4 or 5 days. So if you miss me, why not watch a VOD or something? Or the Breath of the Wild series. Number go up. We do like number go up. Legs up on the table, as it should be. Also, the song's about to end, so there you go, that's a good one. Did you guys like the stream? I'll be back on, I don't know, like Tuesday or Wednesday or something. And then things will be more normal. Yeah, I'll be gone for a bit. I was thinking there's, Nintendo's gonna release the Ocarina of Time remake. So maybe I'll get a Switch 2 at some point. They said they were going to make like a special EU version of the Switch 2 with a replaceable battery. Maybe I'll get that. I was kind of waiting on like a special version Like, you know how they made like the OLED Switch 1? I was thinking maybe the Switch 2 will have like a Switch 2 Pro or something. Because I just have a normal Switch 1 from like when I bought it to play Breath of the Wild like 7 years ago, whatever. I'd like to play the remake. I thought if I got the Switch 2 I could play... I never finished Tears of the Kingdom, right? So I thought maybe I could get the like DLC that lets you play it at 60 FPS and then I could continue that playthrough. It's just something I thought about. So I'll play the Ocarina of Time remake. Of course I will. So I'll get a Switch 2 anyway. I was just waiting for a game that I cared about. I thought that could be fun. And then if I ever do a Breath of the Wild playthrough again, I could play it in 60 FPS as well. And they made some other fixes. I don't know what. They did some textures or something. I don't have a 4K TV, but you know, my monitor's 1440p, so I could make slightly better use of my hardware. I want to play Pikmin as well with Chris at some point. But yeah, I'll head off for now. I hope you guys have a nice evening, nice weekend. Hello, Mortal Thorns. Have a look in the description. I'm ending the stream. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed your 5 seconds. See you next time, next week. Bye bye.